ゴジラ対キングギドラ。足型シール20枚で怪獣大図鑑がもらえるキングザウルスシリーズポピーより発売中。
The Shogun Warriors, Guy King with rocket boosters, Great Mazinga with rocket launcher.
Look, Godzilla!
Is he friend or foe? You can decide.
Wow.
Launch his claw. Imagine his breath is a blast of fire.
Good warning!
The large Shogun Warriors and Godzilla. They're ready to strike when you are. The Shogun Warriors, Great Mazinga, Guy King, and Godzilla, each sold separately. Accessories not for use with smaller Shogun Warriors from Mattel.
Look, Namikawa, we're not robots, but you should have left your sister packed on ice.
Because it's the universe, baby. Nobody knows its secrets.
No, I haven't had a stroke. Today on Collectible Monsters, we're going to be talking about Monster Zero! Ikimosho!
Oh yeah, we got to get on stage. Duh. What's up? It's like I go on a trip and I can't remember how to run Collect All Monsters all of a sudden. Hello and welcome to episode 69 of Collect All Monsters. We are back and ready to talk about some collecting, some collectibles, and giant monsters. So, obviously, I'm Kyle. I am going to say hello to my co-host here in just a second. And I hear me in the background somehow.
I do. You're repeating yourself.
But yeah, anyway, Leslie just dropped out. So I guess what I'll do is before I go to the show and tell, I'll just say I just got back from a trip to Taiwan and China for work, and it was fun, good times. Since I'm just gonna spitball here. I will say that while I was in Taiwan, we went to the Shilin night market, and literally I was like, hey, look, there's a toy store down this alley. And I went down the alley, and there was, I just basically went down to see like what the toy store was about, but they really had like Godzilla stuff. So I saw plenty of Sofubi figures. They actually had 2 M1 Nakajimas in the bag for sale and a Gigabrain 65. Wow. And I was like, this place is legit. And they also had just like a ton of other stuff too. So it was like this tight, reminded me of a Nakano Broadway shop.
Neat.
Skinny, cool. Deep, and just absolutely packed with stuff. It was really fun.
So question.
But what's up, Leslie? Oh wait, sorry. What's up, David?
Oh, hi. Hey, sorry, Leslie. Did you actually go into the store and check out some of the prices of these?
So the problem is none of the things had prices on them that I could see. I did go into the store and I took a bunch of pictures.
Got it.
But because I am actually not in the market for anything right now, my collection space is very full. I was like, I don't need to be spending money on on stuff at the moment, but it was really cool to see.
For sure.
I'll probably post pictures of that stuff in the Facebook group after the show.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about other adventures a little bit later during Show and Tell, and say, let's just go ahead and get that going, because every month on Collect All Monsters, we like to talk about what we've gotten over the past month or so, depending on where you've been and what you've been doing. And we call that segment Show and Tell. And of course, gonna kick things off right over there to Mr. Leslie Chambers.
No, he's over there.
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing today?
Hi, Leslie.
Good, man. Excellent to see you.
You too. I'm glad your trip to China was good. I'm glad to see you back.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, I kind of heard, but don't y'all feel it, ladies and gentlemen? It's like around this time of year, collectible monsters can be considered like our October monthly episode can be considered like the unofficial kickoff to Godzilla Day. We got 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. I can't believe it. 2 more weeks. I'm gonna be in Japan. I can't believe that. And the next host that I'm about to introduce, he's got some news regarding that trip that's kind of made it more epic now, but I'll let him tell you. But yeah, 2 weeks from today, we're gonna be there. Like, who would have thought, like, when I first watched Megalon way back in the 80s, that it will culminate in a trip to Japan, to the motherland, So can't wait for that. Can't wait to see Kyle and John and Helmy and just to enjoy that awesome day known as Godzilla Day that we're all gonna look forward to, and to be there at ground zero, no pun intended, is really a dream come true. So expect a lot of vlogs and pictures and all that good stuff from me and Sandra, of course. So can't wait for that. So, but today is a great day because we're talking about an awesome film celebrating its 60th anniversary, even though we're kind of jumping the gun because it don't officially have its anniversary until December, but we kind of like talking about another film, awesome film celebrating a milestone birthday that month. Is kind of a tearjerker. But now this episode, we're going to have an awesome discussion about a certain favorite film of at least 2 of these folks over here. Invasion of Astro Monster, Kaiju Daisenso, Monster Zero, Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, that would be the main focus of the show, so I can't wait to talk about that. Unfortunately, John and Christine couldn't be. Well, unfortunately, John couldn't be here. So
wait, hold on a minute. Where's Leslie? What have you done with him?
No, because out of the both of them, I only care about one of them. So unfortunately, John couldn't be here. But again, you still got all of us: Kyle, myself, David, and of course our resident Ifukube, Jonathan Portman. We're gonna hold you down with this awesome show, and thank you for everybody for being here. But here we are. We're back to show and tell. Since last month, we were kind of speeding through so that Kyle can make his Ultraman convention appointment, so to speak. But now we're back to the 3. So I got 3 awesome acquisitions I want to showcase here, and they all have something in common. They're all flying monsters, and a couple of them were kind of teased on the show a couple months back. But there's one in particular, oh boy! But we'll say that for the end. So this first show and tell, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to John Brenlake. I got this 30 centimeter resin model kit from him. And I want to thank also Greg Betters. He's the one that built that painter's kit for me. And he kind of teased it a couple months ago. But here we are with the 30 centimeter 1966. And he's flying. Gamera!
Oh,
wow.
Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. And he got the jet propulsion going in the back. Oh yeah, that's so cool. Originally this was a crawling Gamera kit where he's on all fours and he's crawling. But I had Greg augment the sculpt because his limbs, his arms, they were the original sculpt had it firmly planted down on the ground. But since he's in the flying pose, he basically just augmented the arms where he's in that Superman flying position, It's quite ironic that in the movie of Gamera vs. Baragon, he didn't sport this flying position. He didn't start doing that until the following film in Gamera vs. Gauss. But it seems like companies nowadays are allergic of doing actual flying Gamera products. So that's why I wanted to have a flying Gamera in my collection, So X Plus, more companies do a flying Gamera in honor of the turtle turning 60 next month, and a certain other person is turning 60 next month, but we'll talk about that, later on. But
hey, Leslie, you know what's something to say about that?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
I couldn't hear. What was that? Was it a Gamera roar?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's like That's the thing. That's why I cut out earlier because I couldn't really hear it. But I'm going to imagine that was Gamma screaming in my ear. So, but thank you anyway. I appreciate that. But yeah, this really is a cool piece. You know, again, thank you to Greg Bettis for that. And Kyle, you can fire out those pictures for me. I'm tired of holding that big heavy thing. But I actually got that. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay. And that's one of the kits I actually got at G Fest from Greg. You know, he hand delivered it to me.
It looks beautiful. My God.
Thank you very much. And he basically augmented the, or at least he made up the flying stand for Gamera here. And I got him paired up against his enemy from the film. Of course, that's the 30 centimeter X Plus Barugon. There's a difference. So as you can see here, he looks really, really good up against Barugon. And again, X Plus, they kind of teased the Gamera from this movie like a long time ago, a 30 centimeter, in fact. But kind of like a lot of things with X Plus nowadays, it's kind of like hit or miss, you know. So that's why I've been going more so into these model kits. But you already know that, you know what I'm saying. But again, thank you so much to Greg, and thank you so much for John for the hookup on the kit. Really do appreciate it. And as a matter of fact, I might as well announce it now. Sometime next month, I will do a supplemental video celebrating the anniversary of Gamera. So stay tuned for that. It'll definitely happen after I come back from Japan, if I ever come back. But we'll see. And the next kit I want to talk about, at least the next acquisition, is actually another resin model kit. And it's actually something that I've always wanted. And I've said it a few times on the show that if I have ever had a chance to get it, I will get it. And I think I was going to get it. But again, that's great tour karma. You know what I'm saying? It's not a question of if you get something, it's a question of when. You know, it's got to be you have to have some perseverance and never give up hope. And I never did. And so I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to again Greg Bettis for hooking me up with his resin model kit with the 30 centimeter Black Dragon kit of the Flying Destroyer. I already have the giant perfect form. I got the aggregate form courtesy of the X Plus Favorite Sculptors line, right? But this was the one I really wanted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wanted the other two, honestly. But after I got those two, I had to have the flying one. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not too many representations, collectible-wise, of this form of Destroyer. You know, I think there's an SH Monster Arts out there. I think Resin Chef put out a kit, I think this year, you know. And the kit looks great. But this was the one from Black Dragon that I wanted to get into my collection. And it just so happened I just threw it out on Facebook on the Kaiju Kit Builders Club. I just asked, hey, does anybody have this kit for sale? And I didn't think I had a shot in the dark of actually getting by anybody to respond. But somebody hit me up and was like, hey, I do. And it gave me a good price for it. And again, I sent off to Greg. And as you can see here, the kit looks absolutely great. X Plus, if you're watching, put it in the Favorite Sculptors line. I'm just saying, you know, to go along with the other two. But this kit is really, 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 really cool. And he goes great with the 30 centimeter Godzilla Jr. that I got from Galloping Ghost earlier this year. So this is great. So what do y'all think? I know y'all saw it a few months ago when I wasn't here, but what do y'all think?
I think it's beautiful. It's
the coloring. The sculpt,
I mean, it's perfect. It's
detail, man.
Dynamic. It's perfect. It's and again, underrepresented.
Yeah, you're right, David. And Leslie, you were saying this about, Gamera. They don't like to make flying Gameras for some reason. I feel like that's the same for virtually, unless you're a flying kaiju, specifically, they don't do a lot of these other forms. And it really is dynamic. And especially when you think about creatively what you can do with it, not only just having it on a stand, but hanging it from wires and all sorts of other cool things you can do with these. Like, it's so much better than just having the bipedal stance, the upright stance. It's just adds a little more depth to it, the whole thing.
Absolutely.
I think the benefit of a model kit, as you all know, as we all know, especially, is that hyper detail, because this will not be part of my show at Intel since we're only doing 3 items each, but this is the new Destroyer flying form from Bandai. And even though my camera won't doesn't want to focus on it. It probably doesn't want to focus on it because it's like, oh, those details are too soft. I should be focusing on something else. Come on, seriously. No, fine.
Not happening.
Anyway, yeah,
not cooperating today.
not cooperating. But yeah, it's a much cooler representation than this guy is.
And Leslie, another thing you asked us what we think about it. Flying kaiju actually solve a collecting conundrum that we who collect models have, because they're above everything else. You can position them so there can be things underneath, and it doesn't take up as much shelf space as one that would stand. Like if you had an adult final form Destroyer there, it would completely like dominate the shelf. At least this one, you can pose other things underneath it. So it's kind of a win-win. It's underrepresented, and it saves up some precious shelf space for us model collectors.
Yeah, and I don't have much space to begin with, so that was kind of like the marching order with Greg. I wanted him to position him as high
as you can, so you put other stuff underneath.
So I can at least put Junior underneath him. So that was kind of like the goal. But again, this was the kit that I really, really wanted. Like, I never had a Flying Destroyer in my collection. And going back and watching the movie, I actually thought that the Flying Destroyer was like the same size as like Godzilla. But when you sit down and think about it, he's the same size as Junior, and Junior is half the size as Godzilla. And when you see the final form at the end, he flies in that form. He doesn't convert to this form, So, but again, it's another kaiju celebrating, 30 years that, again, we'll definitely talk about come the end of the year. But again, X Plus, favorite sculptors line, just do it. You already got the aggregate. You already got the perfect form. Do the trifecta.
You know what to do.
And the Godzilla. They already got the Godzilla from Black Dragon, which is a name you're going to hear a lot during this episode. But again, thank you so much for Greg for making this happen for me. And finally, this last acquisition is a Grail acquisition. I don't really like saying Grails, because I feel like if I say that, then that puts it on like a pedestal that's too high, that I'm going to try my damnedest to try and achieve that goal. And if I don't, I'm just going to be cranky and evil to everybody. I don't like doing that. Well, at least not to most people. But when I first saw this kit, I was like, you know what? I got to have it. And it's from a film that, of course, me and David are huge fans of. And we are proud to be fans of this movie. But ladies and gentlemen, I finally got it. It is the awesome, almost gigantic size, but you know what? I would say it's like 40 centimeters in a way, of the Black Dragon resin model kit of the queen herself, Mega Garrus.
Wow. Wow. Look at that base.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, God. Here's the backstory, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God. Look at that thing.
This is actually what Marcellus Winters built and painted, that he put in for the models room at GFest, and he actually won the first place judges award for it. But we made a deal because they recently just reissued that kit, and he was able to get his hands on that kit. And he was like, "Hey, if you want this built up one, let's work it out." I was like, "Yeah, duh." And look at that! Oh my God!
OMG!
Look at
that! Wow! It takes my breath away, because usually kits don't do that like a lot, and this looks so good. I would like to see this monster in a standalone film. That's how good it looks.
Oh my God! And now again, it is stylized, because Mega Garrus didn't have those separating wings at the bottom of her body. Because Black Dragon, even though their sculpts are pretty much suit accurate, there is some stylization to them. Some extreme, not too extreme. But I don't care about the extra wings, whatever. I'm just glad I have a quality Mega Garrus in my collection. I kind of do with the Resin Chef, but this one blows it way out of the water. And I've always wanted something to pair well with the KOC Godzilla 99 or /2000 model kit. And now you have the Queen versus the King right here. And that's one of the reasons why, honestly, I don't have it in hand, because I ain't trying to tip fate right now by having those resin pieces fall apart in my hands. That's the purpose of the slideshow here.
I do not blame you.
But yeah, because I got this, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it's been so damn hard. I've been trying to save this for the show. But every time I look at it, I want to post it in the group. I want to post it in the group. I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. But thank God the show is happening, because now I'm gonna flood the daggone Facebook groups with this model kit.
You know, Marcellus did a bang up job as usual. And you know, Leslie, this is so good. It may inspire people to go back and watch the damn movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look at this thing. That is really cool. That is
even though
amazing.
Even though in our Millennium discussion, I do remember this, even though Kyle was like, I think 3/4 of the movie is totally awesome, but when the queen shows up, it tanks. But as soon as she's gone, it ramps back up again. I'm saying, like, you ain't gonna diss the queen like that. We ain't doing that. You're not gonna diss the queen.
Oh,
I will, but that's okay.
I don't think Kyle was dissing the queen herself. Kyle was dissing the
execution
of the queen. And I have to agree with him there. So
I know. You know what? I'm just joking, but yeah, and I agree with that too. Because again, like I mentioned on the episode, I just wish that Mega Garrus had the practical work that Mothra had in Tokyo SOS. You know?
Oh yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
But as you can see, I have been thoroughly blessed on my show and tell with Gamera, Mega Garrus, and of course Destroyer, all flying kaiju and all monsters that, of course, X Plus should put in the Favorite Sculptors line. But in case they don't, you can always grab a model kit. You know what I'm saying? But again, thank you to everybody for being here on this awesome new episode of Collectible Monsters. Can't wait to talk about Monster Zero in like a few minutes. But until then, I'm going to kick it over to my main man down in Southern California, the one and the only David Arab.co. What's going on, David?
What's up, Leslie? What's up, everybody? Kyle, Jonathan, thanks for joining us today, and everybody watching. So Leslie kind of alluded to the Japan trip that's coming very soon, and guess who's going? This guy right here. I decided that it was time to get back to Japan. I have to see my buddy Kyle and Lady Kyle. I haven't seen them in forever. I miss them dearly. And, you know, Japan is very special to me. Aside from all of the collecting and the Godzilla stuff, that's the icing on the cake for me. I love Japan. So just being there is just going to do so much for my spirit. Yes, Helmy, I'm so excited to see you. We get to really hang out. I really hung out with you except for G-Fest, just very briefly. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And honest to God, I wish Jonathan was coming. I really do. I really, really do. Next time we'll have to make it so he can come too. And I know Leslie's gonna kick my ass for this, but it is kind of too bad that Christine can't make it, because it would be great to have the entire crew there all at one time. I know. Anyhow, I'm sorry. Anyhow, I am very, very stoked and grateful to be going, and I am turning 60 in November, so it's my birthday month. Woo. And Gamera and I are turning 60. Gamera turns 60 a day before I do. Gamera's birthday is on the 27th of November. Mine's on the 28th.
Oh,
so I don't care if it's not my birthday. We're gonna celebrate it again, because we celebrated my 50th. Kyle was there at Kaiju Sakaba in Osaka. And actually, that wasn't actually my birthday. That was a different day, but we spread it out. But we celebrated a birthday celebration in Kaiju Sakaba, and we'll have to have a drink in the one in Tokyo now. And I remember G. Akamoto, when we went to X Plus HQ, he gave us all a gift for being there, which was very awesome and generous of him. And I remember him handing me a Gamera and Viras set, and he goes, David-san, Gamera's 50, you're 50. You have to have this one. So I was like, thank you so much. So nice. It was really nice, and that's a piece that I absolutely will treasure. But yeah, so I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there from the 31st through the 10th. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, Frank and anybody who else is there for Godzilla's birthday. And again, very grateful and to be able to hang out with you guys. So, all right, enough of the mushy stuff. Let's see. So, so this is show and tell. So Kyle, let's save my photographs for last.
Okay.
As the just like Leslie did, the best piece for last. So these are things that I've talked about wanting over the last couple of months, and they finally came my way. I think I did mention this one, the
Nice.
Cool.
Acro, not Arco. See, I said it right this time. My head is screwed on correctly today. This is the Acro Gyango. Beautiful. I'm not going to talk too much about it because we already did talk about it. Beautiful. I saw this 2 years in a row at Monster Palooza. I had to cancel mine, and I was kind of bummed. And then Drew Brooks, who hopefully is watching it, today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Drew. Thank you for being a good friend of the show and supporter. He said, I'm actually going to be doing a model kit commission for Drew in the near future. And he said, why don't we just take this off of my balance? And, and I said, that's awesome. And here he is, the Acro Gyango. Beautiful. Love it. And next up, I have another figure that I was really bummed that I missed out on. I don't know why I didn't pre-order it. I had ample opportunity. I just never did. And then I saw everyone else get theirs, and I thought, oh man, this is such a whimsical figure. Why didn't I get it? But I ended up getting one after all. This is the Graveyard Gallery or Strange Gallery. It goes by both names.
The difference there is that Graveyard Gallery is the store where that's in Nakano Broadway Mall.
Yes.
Strange Gallery is the manufacturer.
There you go. Mystery solved. I knew Kyle would have the answer to that. So yeah, this is just a great whimsical figure. It's very posable. Mothra can either go in Godzilla's hands or he can go on the tail. And it's just a perfect little figure. The scale, the color, everything about it. And I am going to nominate this an early nomination for Figure of the Year. Just putting it out there now. Just an early nomination. I know the Frog Tree Godzilla is another contender, but I think this one may be a little bit more accessible to the average collector than the Graveyard than the Frog Tree, because that's pretty special and pretty awesome. And I still want one, by the way. So yeah, so this is another thing that I got. Thank you so much for Universe for getting me this little guy too. And all right, so lastly, Kyle's got some images that I have. This is something that I picked up for myself. I thought it was going to come out on my birthday month in November, but it came out early. And of course, I'm talking about the Mondo 1/6 scale Creature from the Black Lagoon premium action figure. This base, I'm just going to go with each picture. This base is based on an updated version of the old Aurora styrene kit base, which is just beautiful. Comes with a turtle, the fossilized creature hand. There's a snake on the branch back there. Just beautiful stuff. Comes with the spear gun, the creature's nemesis. Didn't do much damage to him, and he actually ended up destroying that gun at the end of the film. But the spear gun replica, if I can spit it out. And then this is what I was really stoked about. It came with an alternate head for the Revenge of the Creature suit. And Revenge of the Creature, as you guys remember, was captured and sent to Marineland in Florida, and he was chained up. So I love the fact that you can switch out from the original Creature to the Revenge of the Creature. And you may be asking yourself, well, that suit's different. The actor was shorter who played that. But Mondo comes up with everything. They gave you an extra breastplate with one less scale, so it mirrors the suit more accurately than if they just put it together. So how cool is that? And yeah, and here you can see the different heads. The one head up in the corner there with the green background, that is actually another head, yet another head, a third head that you can add on, and that is for the swimming underwater creature. And you can tell that because there's no pupils, because they had to cut it out so Rico Browning, the actor, could actually see underwater. So it is, I'm telling you right now, as a fan of Universal Monsters and the Creature's always been my favorite. And I may sound like I'm a gatekeeper. Maybe I am. I don't know. This is the quintessential Creature collectible that everybody needs to have if you're a fan. It is definitely on par with Hot Toys and Sideshow. I think it even surpasses the quality. And there he is in natural light. I mean, look at that. It looks just like the suit. He's posable. He's it's just incredible. And thank you so much. And a lot of our friends, good friends of the show, had a hand in this. Hector, Peter, and of course, Steve Saragioli was a consultant to Beto Matali, who did the Roto Kaiju Kong. He was the actual sculptor of this. So
really? Okay.
This is just like our family created this, and just incredible. And I'm so grateful to have this, and thank you to all of you who put so much love into this figure, and it really comes through. So that's and I did get a Octeal Kamagon shirt, but I forgot to put it on. So I will have it on. I will have it on in Japan for the first time. And as you can see, I finally put up my M1. I can't. Kyle, help me.
Tanagui.
I was going to say Norin, but Norin has the whole.
That's a splits.
It's a split.
Completely different, you guys. I mean,
know,
Tanagui is like a handkerchief, and a Norin is to hang above a door to stop the dust from coming in.
I need to go back to Japan to learn these things, to reacquaint myself with this stuff. So it's long overdue. And all right, so that's it for me. Our special guest star, Jonathan Portman. What would you like to show us today?
Well, hello, guys. I'm glad to be back on here with y'all. All this talk about Japan really bums me out a bit because, there's something I've been toying with and talking about. Sadly, the last month or so, we'll go into detail, but my back had other plans. So, yeah, I will look forward to seeing all the videos and things that you guys have going on, and wishing I was there, and that'll be fun. So, but we're on show and tell. So enough of that. Let's get on to what I got recently. So what I got recently, this actually comes via Christine, but also via Nick Sides, good friend of the show and friend of ours, who went up to Godzilla Fest and grabbed this for me and brought it down. So we have here the Super 7 Glowy Mogra.
Okay.
And yes, I said Mogra. Not Mogera. This is Mogra. Okay, so get that clear. Anyway, I love these Gid figures, the Super 7 ones. Like, and especially like the way they do their packaging to the color is the aesthetic of it is so freaking cool. I love it so much. I decided when I get these in the future, I am not taking them out of the box, and I'm going to figure out some way to display them, hang them up, because I went to Monster Patrol and hung out with Paul and Nobu, and Paul showed me his collection room, and my God, all of them hung up in like color scheme and color coordination was absolutely beautiful. And I couldn't stop staring at all of them. The reds and the yellows and the blues and the purples and the pinks, the greens. It was insanely cool. So this going forward, I've learned my lesson. Do not take these, or at least for me, I'm not taking these out of the box. Super insanely cool. I love the original Mysterians. I remember when I was a kid, I beat the hell out of that VHS tape, to the point where one time I put it in and it just spat it out, and it was like it's the infamous, like the tape spewing the out of the feed of the cassette. Terrible. I was so heartbroken. But Mysterians, Akira Ifukube's score, and especially Mogra, I was always really fascinated with Mogra. I was like, Mogra is like such a weird looking robot. It was like, and it took me a long time, because like when I was a kid, I didn't know any better, to realize like, oh, Mogra, mole. Oh, it's like, it looks like a mole. Okay, well, that makes a lot more sense. So, but yeah, super insanely cool kaiju / robot / mech, and super insanely cool thing from Super 7. Now, the next item I will show you. This is really cool. Leslie, you might be the only person that will relate to me in this. Maybe, I don't know. Because we both have love for 80s and 90s pop culture as well in certain instances. This item is so super cool. And originally, when I saw it announced at Comic-Con, I wasn't planning on getting it, but then I saw what collaboration they had coming out, and I just had to get it. It's something that screams from my childhood, but intersects in two ways: Saturday morning cartoons and Godzilla. So here we have, from Playmates, we have the Raph X Rodan Godzilla collaboration figure. And I know you're like, well, where's the figure? Oh, he's out of the box already, baby. Look at that. Look at that goofiness. Look at that, yeah. Look at him. Okay, by the way, I got to preface this. Raph, when I was a kid, and still is to this day, my favorite turtle.
Really?
Yes, Raph has
I was
always
going
been
to
my
ask you
favorite.
that. I was going to ask you who's your favorite turtle.
My spirit turtle, if you will. So the fact that we have a mashup that to me works perfectly between Raph and Rodan, I kind of started to think to myself, does this mean that Rodan is my spirit kaiju? It's like, am I coming to like a realization here? I feel like I must be, because it blends Raph and Rodan, and it has that goofy classic like kind of dead eye stare that the turtles had in those classic, Playmates Mattel figures. And look at the fire size here. Like, I don't know about the wings, but I mean, it's Rodan, so you kind of have to give him wings. But like in general, it looks like the classic turtle figures that I grew up with. I went to visit my parents at the Outer Banks recently, and my dad still, to my surprise, had some of my figures from the basement, like some of the turtle figures. He had a Raph sitting right in his collection room. And he's like, "This reminds me of you. This was yours when you were a kid." So I looked at it and I was like, "Man, this is a perfect little collaboration, especially for me. It's near and dear to my heart. I love the Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, still do, and I love Godzilla. So what a great mashup! Thank you, Toho, and thank you, Playmates, for this. I might have to get the other ones. I don't know. I was only planning on getting the Raph and the Rodan collaboration, but
honestly,
we'll see.
Honestly, a collaboration with Gamma would probably be more appropriate because since he's a turtle.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't think a lot of people really understand how awesome the Ninja Turtles, the original Ninja Turtle cartoon, was back in the 80s.
The original comic book from the 80s, so awesome.
The comic book was amazing, and then the show for us,
I know.
It was a whole other level, right?
Show was fun.
Show was fun. Very different, but fun.
Comic book was deadly.
Yes, comic book was deadly.
Yeah,
absolutely bloody. And so that's my second item. Third item is special in a way because it comes from Monster Patrol, and not only Monster Patrol, it comes from their recent event they had with Sunguts, who was in town. I covered the event for Collectible Monsters, and because of time and certain things, I haven't gone around to putting that video together, but rest assured that video will be coming. It's going to be a cool little look into that into that exhibit. And so look out for that on the channels. But when I was there, I had to get myself something that they were selling because they had a ton of stuff there. They had Godzilla stuff. They had Ultra stuff. But one thing that, Leslie, you and I love the most, and you know what I'm going to say, my man had to pick up an Ultra 7 from Sunguts. I mean, look at the glitter infused in here. My God, like just look at that. It's so actually, I'll do you one better.
Seven.
Where is it?
I want to hear Leslie sing that song in karaoke.
Dude, we're doing it.
Oh, seven.
This, I mean, I gotta say, I was so excited to pick this up because I was eyeing it the whole time. When I first got there, I'm like taking video of everything before the event opens, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely getting this, but like some more of which I regret fully. They had a few Godzillas there. They had some Mothras there from his Destroy All Monsters thing that he's doing. So yeah, but really happy to have this Sunguts Ultra 7 in my collection. A further, next to my Max toys here. It's a beautiful thing. And sorry, right in front of Subaraya. Sorry, man.
Congratulations.
But anyway, thank you. And that is my show and tell. So, Kyle, what do we have to see this month from you?
Since last we met, so much has happened. Literally, as the episode ended, I left, as Leslie said, to go to Subaraya-Con, which was pretty incredible. Just a few words on it. I just wanted to say the event itself, as I discussed probably in the episode, was free to attend the dealer's room area. So what they called the Collection Central or something like that. The hitch in the giddy up, if you will. Don't know why I chose that phrase, but it was most of the exclusives that were really cool. Hey, Roxy. most of the really cool exclusives were done by lottery. And so I kept going up to these tables and being like, hey, do you have this? Can I buy this? And they'd be like, ooh, sorry, you had to enter the lottery for that. And those plushes are not for you, by the way. You leave them alone, please.
She's like,
the
nope.
lottery, the way they did it is the show opened at like 11 or 10 or 11 or something like that. And we got there around noonish, and everybody that I was with was already pretty wiped out by like 2, almost 3 o'clock. So they didn't even pull the lottery winners until like, I think 4.
Oh,
So there was no chance for me to even like enter the lottery. Lesson learned though. And hopefully if they do another one of these things, I can basically maybe reach out to somebody and volunteer to actually give some more information on their website in English, because it was vague AF. And but great show, really fun. And if I had the time and money to do it, I would have probably paid for some of the extras, like going to see the live show, or because they had like the live ultras versus kaiju stage fights, and they had talk shows with people who were in the shows, and they had a concert and all sorts of cool stuff. So Subaraya-con or Subucon was really pretty cool, and I would definitely go again. Also, it was held this year in the Tokyo Dome area, which is where they will be holding Godzilla Fest, because it changed from Ginza in the Hibiya Chanter area, which is where the Shin Godzilla statue is. It's been there for the past like 4 or 5 years, maybe longer, and now it's moving over to Tokyo Dome. So, I was there with Lady Kyle and Helmy and Frank and his family, and Louie was there too. Monster Lou was was there. It was a ton of fun. Saw a bunch of people, but that happened, and then immediately after that, the next weekend, I went to Nagoya with Lady Kyle and Frank and his family. And we originally were going for this Godzilla Caravan event. They have this Frog Tree Godzilla available, and this Max Toy -1 available. But you have to enter a lottery for it. And originally they said they're going to do the lottery, but if you don't win the lottery, you can stand in line. After just before the event, maybe like half a week or something like that, they posted on Twitter that they were pulling that decision back, and basically, if you didn't win anything left over from the first lottery, they were going to run a second lottery. So I was like, well, there's like literally no chance for me to get this figure. So we just went down and enjoyed Nagoya, had a good time. But show and tell wise, we went to the Mandarake in Nagoya, and my wife, aka my enabler, was like walking through Mandarake with me, and she like points at this toy in the case, and she's like, hey, isn't that your Ultra 7 girlfriend, Anne? And I was like, it is. She goes, do you have an Anne figure? I'm like, no. She's like, why don't you get that? And I was like, I mean, I could, but she's like, you should get it. It's only like 500 yen. So I got myself a little Anne figure.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
I love that. That's great.
And we had a great time. I actually took my my Strange Gallery Mosugoji figure right there to Nagoya Castle and to the Nagoya TV tower, and took pictures of them in there like a total nerd. But hey, it was worth it. David, don't forget a travel buddy.
I don't know. I'm already thinking about a travel buddy. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but
I will say that Strange Gallery Godzilla, I don't think you would bring that, but that thing was just a little bit too big for me to bring.
He's awesome. He would be a perfect choice if he wasn't too big, and I need suitcase space. So
just need a smaller version. Anyway, okay, so let me just wrap this up real quick. Also, as was mentioned, the Godzilla Fest happened, and Christine hooked me up too, because one of the vendors at Godzilla Fest was also at G-Fest and sold out of the 1998 animated Godzilla figure immediately at G-Fest, like I think before the doors opened. I don't know how that happened. Wink, wink. But once again, not focusing. Forget my face, camera. Get on the figure. But yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about YMSF and their current modern sculpts, which I really do feel blow their old ones out of the water, and their new sculpts are so well done. It kind of makes me wish they had a little bit more freedom with the license to produce more figures, because I mean, this looks just like the one in the animated show, right? Which I don't know if I mentioned this. Yeah, this is the animated Godzilla.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Man, if it could focus on it, you'd really be able to tell.
It looks great. It looks great.
It really does look good. And to be perfectly honest, I had watched part of this show before, but while Lady Kyle was in America, I watched the whole series. I basically mainlined it. And as a special gift, he also threw in this other monster, Comolthrodax, I think is what it's called. Somebody in the comments, please, and you're absolutely welcome to correct me on this, but this sort of is like a clear pink version of Godzilla's girlfriend at one point or something like that.
Dear Lord in heaven.
I know.
I don't remember that, but
you don't?
Not in the cartoon. I don't know.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the series when they're probably running out of ideas.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
But the Godzilla, phenomenal sculpt, really fun.
It's great.
Yeah. And thank you, Christine, and thank you to Fumiaki for making sure I was able to get one of those.
That's cool.
And last but not least, leave that alone. I forgot to grab this. The following weekend was my birthday weekend, and also on my birthday proper was Super Festival. So I went to Super Festival with Lady Kyle, and I wasn't in it for the exclusives. I was in it to go look at all the old stuff. So lots and lots of tables of people bringing out old figures and old stuff. And I picked up this cutie. And if you know, I love yokai.
Yes, you do.
And this classic yokai show called Gegege no Kitaro. This is the daddy eyeball character, the father of Kitaro, who is basically just sort of like not a disembodied eye. He's an eye with a body. So a re-embodied eye. And he likes to take onsen style baths in a teacup. So I found this at a table, and it was only, I think, like 600 yen or something like that. But it's soft vinyl. It's a little sofa piece, and it's also a bank, so I could store my 100 yen coins in here.
Save your pennies.
I don't know if I can get it out though. That's so I'm not going to be saving my pennies in this. But that was my third item for show and tell. But I also had to tell about all the cool stuff that's been happening. I think that's pretty much it. We've had some visitors recently too, which have been pretty cool. And of course, like I said, I went to I actually had dinner with Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson was here, and we walked around Akihabara and then went and had some food. And then like last night I got back from China. So it's been a whirlwind month since we've seen each other, and I'm gonna shut up and move along so we can do our next segment, which is the chat room check-in. So Leslie and Jonathan, if you would do me a favor, get ready to say hello to, we got 30 people watching right now.
Woo, cool. That's awesome. I forgot to mention, Kyle had a birthday, Sandra had a birthay, I had a birthday.
Oh yeah, you had a birthday too.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. My knees just, oh my God. But the best thing about that, was Kyle had a birthday, Sandra had a birthday, and Sandra and I celebrated our 11th anniversary of being married.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
She's a saint to put up with my big head behind. So thank you so much, Sandra. I appreciate it. But again, happy birthday, Kyle. I hope you had a great time.
Wonderful birthday, yeah.
Good,
It
good,
was
good,
wonderful.
good, good. Okay, so let's go through this chat room check-in. And again, thank you for everybody for being here. Okay, of course, we got Gojira 91. Helmy, what's up? Can't wait to see you in a couple weeks. Johnny K, Nathaniel Plummer. What do you say? Oh jeez. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Michael Hang, Larry Latham. Let's see. Ray 2D2, rated M. Fancies of Cats. And what did he say? I collect all monsters without Christine is like a cupcake without frosting. Dude, I'm telling you. Okay. Drug test Monday morning. I'm telling you.
Alex.
Alex Sawyer. Alex? Mark Rodriguez. Tim Bartos. Let's see who else. Devon 13. Man, once you get older, your eyesight ain't what it used to be. Let's see. Patrick Markfort. Thank you, sir. Let's see who else. DJC, thank you so much. I normally see you on the MWA chats. Where's Keith? Don't see Keith anywhere. Is he here yet?
No, he's not here today. He's out and about today.
Okay.
Sad to say.
Okay. Let's see. Robert D, what's going on? I knew he would be here because we're talking about Monster Zero. And he loved him some Tsuchiya-san.
Hey, Frank. Looking forward to seeing you, Frank.
Let's see. Eric. It just says Eric. Thank you so much.
Matthew. What's up, Matthew?
And I just see the same people.
ESK.
ESK.
My friend Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Okay. Colin Mack, 57, I believe. Man, my eyes are shot today for some reason. And Corey Right.
Because you got older.
I know. It sucks. It sucks getting old.
Yes, it does.
But
tell me about it.
But I'm still kicking in. You know, I'm aging like molasses, so that's always a good thing. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you so much for everybody being here. Really do appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So what we do after the old chat room check-in is we dip into the kaiju collectible news. So we each choose one item because there's just too much to talk about. And we're definitely going to kick things off with Mr. Chambers telling us his first item for, well, the only item for his choice for his collectible news.
All right, folks. Again, me and X Plus, it's like we're on good terms one month, then we're not on good terms another month. It just depends, you know. I mean, I have not totally written them off yet, and this is one of the reasons why I have not totally written them off yet. I mean, I've had my fill of the reissue, weirdly painted variant figures, but this one caught my eye. And last month of September, they announced that they're doing the X Plus Favorite Sculptors line of Godzilla 2023, aka Godzilla -1. And this is based off an awesome resin model kit from, again, Black Dragon Studios, who of course did the Megaguirus and the Destroyer that you saw earlier. And they're doing this this figure based off that kit. And it's going to be 3 separate versions. What you see here is the Godzilla Store exclusive, where he's painted like in the sunset version, because you know when he appears in Ginza with that pose, you know, he has the sun beaming off of him, so that's where you get that paint scheme from. And I think that one's going to be released, I want to say January of 2026. And of course you have the standard here, you know, again, same sculpt, just, you know, a standard paint job, you know, whatever. And that one's supposedly dropping, I want to say late November going into December. And the last one is going to be a Rick exclusive, which is coming out February of 2026. And it's going to have, you know, the awesome blue dorsal plates, as well as the blue hue in his mouth, you know, whatever. Kind of similar to what they did with the 30 centimeter -1 that came out, I want to say last year, I believe. Between the three, I think the one that I'm going to try and go for is probably the sunset one. I think that one looks really, really, really cool. And again, it's based off the Black Dragon kit. And ironically, X Plus turnaround on getting Black Dragon kits, because this is not the first time they have dealt with Black Dragon. Again, of course, they've done the perfect form of Destroyer, the aggregate form of Destroyer. They've done the 95 Godzilla, right? They've done Shin Godzilla. You know, he's been released a couple times. And I think the newest Shin that has the standard colors is, I think, is dropping this month. And then they announced this. So again, get the Destroyer X Plus and Mega Garage to make a lot of folks happy. But yeah, this is really cool, because again, the turnaround of them getting these kits has been really fast. Like the Perform of Destroyer, the kit came out in 2022, but they brought out the Favorite Sculptors line version a year later, 2023. The Godzilla 95 kit came out in 2023, and X Plus got their hands on it and brought it out in 2024. This kit came out earlier this year, and now they got their hands on it, and they're going to bring it out towards the end of this year, going into next year. So again, this is really cool, and it's 30 centimeters, you know, and it creates that awesome pose when he shows up in Ginza and tells folks, "You're dead." Basically, that's what this pose symbolizes. You know, you're cooked. You know, whether he does that or when he does like with the blue dosa plates, when he fires his atomic breath, you know, for the first time in Japan, you know, it creates that pose as well. So, but this is really cool. And again, you got some options between the G Store exclusive, the Rick exclusive, as well as the standard. Honestly, I think for what I've read, as far as like research, I think the Rick is sold out, but you can still get a pre-order in for the Sunset version as well as the standard version. Either way, get your hands on this this figure, because I don't know this for certain, but I believe come Godzilla Day, we will get some type of announcement on these -1 sequels. So I think -1 as well as Shin is going to be heavily represented going into next year, you know. But time will tell with that.
Hey, Leslie.
Yes, sir.
Helmy has a question. Quick question for you. Are you getting the Prime 1 -1 Goji?
No. Yo, you mean the one that's cost like $2,000? No. If I did that, I would not be going to Japan. So sacrifices had to be made. And
I would take Japan over that 100%. Yeah, hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I mean, and again, I got a few -1 pieces in my collection, you know. So
and there's also the space issue, Leslie, too. Let's be honest here, right?
Issue. There's a space issue, and but again, I mean, I love -1. I love the movie, but the -1 design is not something that I want too many representations of in my collection. It's not like the 64 or the GMK, you know. If it were those, then maybe I will make room for it. But with this one, I'm probably gonna get this one, maybe, and then that's probably gonna be it with -1, because again, space is an issue. But with that being said, again, you got some options between the Rick exclusive, the standard, as well as the G Store exclusive. But get your hands on this figure, and hopefully you'll be able to find one, you know, in good time. So that's it on my news segment. So David, what do you want to talk about here?
Wow, yeah, that's cool. I'm actually looking forward to that Black Dragon sculpt. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, I actually flip-flopped a little bit. I had one particular item in mind, and then John Ruffin was actually going to review this piece. And then since he couldn't make it, I decided I needed to do it because it's just that awesome. When I first saw it, I'm like, instant buy for me. It's by a company called Artpla, and it is a styrene version of the 1964 original Showa King Ghidorah, the scene where he destroys the bridge by the base of Mount Fuji. And this sculpt just looks like perfection to me.
It does.
We don't have a lot of information on the specs of it. We do have some images, and it just looks crazy. And I really have to bone up my styrene building skills before I tackle this guy. But the good news is for people who maybe can't afford these expensive model kits, the styrene kits are pretty affordable typically.
Okay.
Having said that, I'm not sure what the price point on this one is going to be, but stay tuned. I will announce it, or we will announce it on the show as soon as we find out. But I mean,
if you
guys,
want to use any of their other stuff as reference, the Godzilla with the train in his mouth and the base.
Yes. Okay. And
that's
I also
8,800 yen.
I thought you meant for scale, because I did include a photo of someone standing next to the figure so you can see the scale. But yes.
Oh, sure.
So they are going to be much more affordable to the average Godzilla collector than say an expensive resin piece. And I dare say, the quality of this, if the figure actually, the kit actually looks like the prototype, it's going to be next level awesome. I mean, look at that base, you guys. Look at that base and that pose. I don't think I've seen a Showa King Ghidorah with a pose quite that dynamic. It's dynamic, but it's still like, I mean, look at that, you guys. It's just great. It's gonna be a shelf hog for sure. I'm guessing it's 25 centimeter, but you can judge for yourself when you see it next to the guy. And it's just something that I will absolutely, like I said, instant purchase for me. And when I saw John wasn't going to do it, I had to absolutely, actually, no, it's small. It's smaller, unless he's not.
That's
I don't know how close he's
Takuji Yamada.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
another modeler, very famous model builder from Japan. Actually looks pretty small there. I thought it looked bigger when I looked at it first, but maybe it's like in the 20 centimeter scale, which is fine. It's totally fine.
Nice.
The Godzilla, I think, was 18 centimeters.
18 centimeters. So it's probably about that. Wow. Well, great. I mean, even better. That means I like, Frank, it is definitely a must. I like things that are detailed and I could fit into my collection without doing some major rearranging. And I think all of us on the show today can relate to that situation. It's like when I consider buying a new piece, there's many considerations: cost, shipping, extra shipping, and then availability. Is it a lottery? And where the hell can I fit it into my collection in a place of honor where it can be shown and not just like kind of off to the side? And like Leslie said, and he jokes around, but it's totally serious. I don't want to be putting stuff on the floor, man. You know, it's not what these figures are made to do. They're made to be displayed. And I thought that I had a lot of space, but man, sometimes when we come out from dinner or something, we enter into the garage. Half of the garage is my collection. I've got a lot of stuff, guys, man. I got a lot of stuff. And this is just the garage. I've got stuff in the house. I've got a tower of Sofubi. It's like, man, it just hits me that I really do. I've been collecting for over 30 years now. So, I mean, it only, makes sense that I do have a lot of stuff. But anyway, none of that makes any difference. I love this piece. I'm going to get it whether I can fit it in or not, because I'm a huge King Ghidorah fan, like Leslie is. And I think all of us are really. Showa King Ghidorah is just perfect to me, like a perfect monster. My second favorite monster next to Godzilla. So yeah, we will get the information when it becomes available to us about the cost and the exact scale and all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully you guys will all want to get one of these. All right. Jonathan Portman, what are you going to show us?
Well, I mean, since we're in the spirit of Monster Zero and Ghidorah, it seems like, I'm going to follow suit with this next item, which is fairly unique, shall I say, and very fashion forward, depending on how you look at things. Now, there's a company, I didn't know this company, I don't know anything about this company, but I happened to see that this actually comes from the Kaiju United. So basically, there's a denim company in Canada called Naked and Famous Denim, and they've had a collaboration, at least for a little while now, it seems, with Toho and Godzilla. They had a previous release on these denim jeans that was Godzilla themed from the original Godzilla, and it's got like this one you see has like a textured yellowish sort of like hue in there. The other one for Godzilla had like a textured gray in there, and it looked really cool. Now I'll show you some more in-depth images here close up. So these are high quality jeans. I mean, I was looking at getting them until I saw the price. And then when I saw the price, I was like, oh dear Lord. I think I spend like at least sometimes upwards of like maybe 60 on a pair of jeans, and I think that's a little much. So like these are pretty pricey, but they are in limited stock. They have all different types of styles. They have straight, they have skinny, they have baggy, and you can find these on their website, Naked and Famous on their website.
Okay,
you can buy them from there. Also, they have a New York store, I believe, that you can pick these up at. But they're limited supply, so you got to act on them. And these are available now. So you can go on the website, check them out for yourself. I believe one of the prices I saw for this one specifically was like $228.
That's a bit
No
high
joke.
for jeans. That's a bit high.
Yes.
I'd say 100
Yes.
would be my cutoff for jeans.
But I mean, to say they're not cool is like I mean the cuffs. It's pretty cool. I mean, these are probably the baggier ones, but they had on the website they had like different. They had like a skinny jean like that.
Yeah, that's
I
not
really
a very
liked, and I was
flattering
like,
cut, Jonathan. That's not a very flattering cut.
Look, it's not a flattering cut, but some people
That's the
like
the cut I
fire-
wear.
No,
Some
it's
people
not.
like the fireman.
Yeah, it
look.
is.
Some people like the fireman look. I don't know. Hey, look. I
do.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this. I was like,
You know what?
like
I'm gonna
fireman
wear pants for the first
Um,
time in Japan. I wear shorts every single day of my life, so I'm stoked to wear jeans. So I'm looking forward to that.
I gotta say though, now I wouldn't necessarily wear these, but I think it's a really cool thing that they're doing, and I
It is
think it
very
opens
cool.
the door for other fashion designers, maybe hopefully other ones that are a little more mainstream, to come out and do similar things. Now, you know, I like Godzilla in fashion more than anybody. I like to see what's out there and collect certain things. I know, you know, even Uniqlo has some collaborations they do all the time. But I've never seen jeans and jeans that are specific. Now they did a Godzilla. Now they did a King Ghidorah. I would be interested to see like a Space Godzilla, like what that would look like texturally, or like, you know, not like I would get them, or like a Destroya. Like, would it be like a reddish orange hue, like texture? I mean, it's just cool to like see these come out and kind of enjoy.
Oh, you mean the cuffs,
fashion.
Jonathan? Right, the cuffs when you cuff them up.
Not even the cuffs, but if you look at the texturing in like on the jeans themselves,
I can't
has
see
like
it.
a yellow.
It's not showing up.
It's
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So the inside, yeah, I see the inside of the
I do.
jeans.
Yeah,
how
I
it's
do.
like
Now
it's
I do.
more of a dyed yellow on the
Okay.
inside. So that will come through on that jeans sort of like material at least, and the stitching.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well
Yes.
that's very cool. I mean, that's
And
why
the
they're
Godzilla
paying
one is like
money for
gray,
it.
so it's like based on the original black and white.
Oh,
It's got the
okay.
gray, like black and
Okay.
white look.
Okay.
And then this one's got the yellow. So I mean, pretty interesting. You know, pretty cool. That's the logo for it. It's pretty neat. Yeah.
Helmy has some official King Ghidorah jeans. He wore them when we went to the Godzilla the art exhibit, and
Yeah?
they were like I think they're more like some sort of painted applique on the legs
Oh.
and the butt. But yeah,
Oh,
I was kind of making fun of him because he's bringing King Ghidorah to the exhibit.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Look at this. Actually, it's interesting that we brought this up because, you know, when we were talking about what would be interesting to see next, we have Mothra, we have Kong, we have Rodan, Mechagodzilla, Kumonga, Hedra, Baragon.
Hedorah would be cool.
You know?
The colors of Hedorah would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for different. I mean, if you're a collector of fashion and you like to collect jeans or you like to wear that
Biollante
style,
be cool.
I mean, it's all for you.
Biollante,
Biollante
yes.
would be
Mhm.
Biollante would be really cool. Yeah, there's like an endless supply of kaiju that you could. Titanosaurus. Yep, someone said DJ said Titanosaurus. So yeah, pretty
but
cool.
How much you say they were?
You know, I looked on the website.
$269.
It was expensive.
You said
$269 US is the manufacturer's price.
Yes.
For that price, it should sprout golden wings and fly my ass to work. I'm just saying.
Yes.
What
yes.
that is the perfect reaction.
Yeah,
There
that's a
you
little
go.
that's a
There
little
you
steep
go.
for me, even for jeans. But hey guys, before Kyle goes, Colin Mac 57 said, bring on a 56 Rodan model kit from Artplot. How cool would that be?
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, I just had to give a comment because I want that too. Let's put that out there in the universe. That's pretty awesome.
We need more.
jeans.
We need more 65 Rodan than 56. Honestly, we need more 65s.
Well, we're going to be
If
talking
we
about
can.
we're going to be talking about the 65 in a little bit.
You know, Leslie, you could start a whole new thing. You could start a collect all, sweatpants,
Not doing
Yeah.
that.
Right?
I ain't trying to. Nope. I ain't trying to make nobody feel bad. So that's why I don't wear sweatpants.
All right, everyone that sees Leslie in Japan, you have to wear sweatpants. All wear sweatpants.
I'm going to jail.
You'd be on the news, international news, for getting in a scuffle in Ginza.
I will not allow that.
The sweatpants scuffle.
There's already too many freaking gaijin in the news and what they're doing to Japan.
Oh yeah.
So there will be no misbehaving on my watch when you guys are with me. All right.
Starting a movement. There you go, Frank.
All right, let's move along and let's talk about birthdays again, because the Alamo Draft House, who, if you have not seen, they have an incredibly cool theater that has been dedicated to Godzilla and other kaiju, and that is in Northern California. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, really cool displays. Christine went. There's it's fantastic. I wish I could go see that at some point. Maybe when I come back and visit the old Americas, I can check it out at some point.
You got to hit California, Kyle. You got to do your California tour for sure.
We will see. I've already got some dog-eared dates for next year, so including G-Fest. G-Fest.
Cool.
So let's talk about my news item, which is the Alamo Draft House's celebration of Godzilla's 71st birthday, technically speaking. And where did that go? I had that up here for a second. There it is. Okay, so a monster-sized birthday bash with the top secret lineup of kaiju classics is happening at the Alamo Draft House. Go ahead and hit me with that next slide. They have some limited edition merchandise, which you can pre-order some of these with a ticket purchase, including a brand new shirt with a lovely design. And not just a shirt, but they have caps and the big reveal, this gorgeous sweatshirt, which has the same artwork from their tumblers, I believe, or their pint glasses. And I really love that artwork. It looks like Tom Whalen, but I'm not sure if it is.
I believe it is.
And they've got this. Is it Tom's? Then they've got this pin collection. And I think last but not least, the most exciting information about it. Oh, sorry. Yes, the most exciting thing is this Mothra mug.
That's cool. I have to get that for Keith.
It is cool. It is cool. I forgot about the Mothra mug. Yeah. Right, Jonathan? My last one? No, there's one more after this. Oh, that's it. Okay, so this is a popcorn bucket.
Oh.
And did you grab the image that I sent to Jonathan for this or no? That's okay. The popcorn bucket, this is a tease of a popcorn bucket. And I'm sure you guys are probably aware that popcorn buckets are sort of like the new hip thing that movie theaters release when they come out with a big hit, or sometimes if they're having a big celebration. I don't know if it's where it started really. I think it started with Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because there's approximately 100,000 cool sculpted popcorn buckets where there's a gimmick. You open something and that's where the popcorn goes. I have, believe it or not, I have a Winnie the Pooh Disney popcorn bucket. It looks like Pooh's honey pot, and you open it up and put the popcorn in there. But there's all sorts of ones out there, including like Jabba the Hutt, where you open his mouth and the popcorn goes in there. This is similar. I lightened up the image on Instagram and posted it there when the news came out. But basically, looks like his jaw is going to open, and that's where the popcorn's going to go. But it's not. I don't think you can get these yet, right? It's basically, if anything, I think you can maybe pre-order it or pre-reserve it. The website. Oh, sure, that makes sense. The website says they're going to celebrate Godzilla Day with an all-day secret lineup of kaiju chaos. From city-stomping classics to deep-cut monster mayhem, this mystery marathon is the ultimate gift for the King of the Monsters' 71st birthday. Expect big-screen destruction, rare surprises, and enough kaiju action to rattle the walls.
Love it.
Mark the King's 71st birthday with a collectible you can wear, available only as a ticket add-on through October 17th. This limited the shirt designed by Alamo's Alamo's own Scott Sugiyuchi will be waiting for you at the theater November 2nd. Once it's gone, it vanishes into the sea forever.
Oh.
They don't have information on the other stuff, but they posted it online, or someone posted it online. Oh, Kaiju United did as well. But yeah, totally. I want some of this stuff. Like, it's cool. The popcorn bucket, I'll be honest, I don't need the popcorn bucket really, but one other famous popcorn bucket from the Godzilla universe. Thank you. Yeah, so I lightened it up, and it looks like it's a 64, right?
It looks like a 64B to
Looks
me.
like
it's
it.
not Jolly. Well, it's got the, I don't know, it's kind of in between, but 64 or 64B.
It's hard to tell from the side, but I mean, it's
I think,
yeah. Like
I think when you're talking
about
about something that's produced from an American perspective, 64 is just a universal kind of. Unless somebody literally was like, I'm going for the B. But I think it's going to be awesome to go to this event.
Like it. That's
and
very cool.
I wish I could go.
Very cool.
And
you could paint that
I literally would love to see. I just want to see it. But if you're interested, there has been another previous Godzilla related popcorn bucket from, I think it was Universal Studios. They had in Japan, they had a Kiryu Mechagodzilla popcorn bucket that had the colors of the EVA-00 from Evangelion. If I have my information correct. Yeah. So add one more to the Godzilla list because it's coming from
That's pretty cool.
Alamo Drafthouse. And that's going to do it. Oh, you can buy from locations starting on the 27th. Oh, it's October 27th.
Yes.
Well, follow Kaiju Kingdom podcast for more information on that. And Monster Island Buddies got the popcorn bucket already? That's interesting.
Maybe they sent them to like certain people.
Yeah, Kaiju influencers. I'll have to go check out Monster Island Buddies.
I wonder if it's going to be painted or it's going to be like a blank.
Oh yeah, it'll be painted.
Oh, it'll be painted. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like the blank, to be honest.
Now that is, I mean, it's pretty big, all right?
Well, it's got a
I mean, it should be fairly big.
Yeah, I've seen these popcorn buckets. They're pretty elaborate, but this one's I like the simplicity of it actually.
Good Lord, can you imagine if they used the 84 head? How much popcorn you get in that big thing?
Right?
Now, if they use a Monsterverse head, you probably get like 2 kernels of corn in there. But, sorry, Monsterverse fans. I'm just saying. You got a small head. I'm just saying.
Now, if it was Zilla, it'd probably be pretty wide. I mean, obviously pretty long.
Yeah.
A Kiryu bucket. Ooh, that
We'll take this one.
The Kiryu bucket is really cool looking. Like, I mean, it looks realistic. Like it's a very realistic sculpt. It's not it's not stylized at all. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and find it now.
Now we got to see it. We got to see it now.
Yeah, it's rad.
Ain't it purple?
Yeah, it's purple because that's what I was saying. It's the Evangelion colors.
Yeah. I remember seeing it.
That's it there.
Oh, I like the Octeal Kamagon like, follow, and subscribe. That's really great. I love it. Very cute.
Can I share this? Is that there? There it is. Yeah, that's what the Kiryu bucket looks like.
That is rad. That is rad. Wow.
Looks like a Lego.
It does. A little bit.
Looks like a Lego. You
a
mean
Lego,
just
like a Lego.
It has a Lego aesthetic.
Lego assembly, like a Lego, like it doesn't. No, I like the Alamo Drafthouse better.
I mean I would say that it looks pretty realistic. Oh yeah. This is actually better. Open image in Nukia. No, that's not the right image. Man,
fill it with gashapons instead of popcorn. That's a great idea, Ray. Yeah, I'll take that.
That would actually be pretty rad.
Well, Monster Kid Corey, we've collected many monsters to answer that question.
There was a post in our group recently. Someone who just recently went to Japan said, "I am now a certified gashapon junkie."
Oh, that is cool.
Anyway, yeah, great release when it came out, but it was a long time ago. I mean, I think that was definitely predates Collect All Monsters, and
oh wow,
I think it's essentially it was a very limited thing too, because it was with the Shin Godzilla Universal ride event kind of thing. 2019 is what Chris says. So
Thank you, Chris.
Cool.
Anyway, let's go ahead and move along from the news, because what we normally do after the news is we take a little bit of a break and then we come back for our main event. And the main event, of course, is our Monster Zero discussion. So let's hit him with an intermission.
Godzilla versus his enemies of destruction, the king of all monsters, against the baddest beasts of all time, Rodan, Mothra, Ghidra, Mecha-Ghidra, and Mecha-Godzilla. It's an eye-flashing, tail-whipping, building-bashing Godzilla war, and only the strong survive. Godzilla rules.
目撃せよ、ゴジラ新世紀。ゴジラが吠える、オルガがうなる、迫力の爆音が響く。激突サウンド、ゴジラ対オルガ、そして透明度。魂を解き放て、ドンドンドン。破壊神降臨、CR ゴジラ。ドン、ゴジラならやってくれる。入銀。
And we are back to discuss awesome movie stuff. And Roxy's here to give her support as my little Miss Namikawa.
Hello, Roxy.
So we, as you know, just a little behind the curtain for the viewers here, because I came back last night, I was like, guys, I'm not going to have much time to do a lot of prep stuff for this episode, so we probably need to make it like a movie discussion, something a little easy. And so Leslie came up with his awesome questions, which is kind of what we're going to kick things off with here. But we've decided to choose Monster Zero, aka Invasion of Astro Monster, aka Kaiju Daisenso, as our subject today because it's celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. And as Leslie also said earlier in the show, it is a favorite of some of ours, especially mine, and I know David's as well. We have a strong affinity for this film, and we absolutely love it. So we're going to talk. We've got questions from Leslie, some of his hard-hitting questions, which we'll each give an answer for. And then after that, I think we're just going to go straight into chatting about collectibles. And what Leslie requested is that we each show off all of our Monster Zero collectibles. You have to
go fast.
So, lucky for everybody, I sold most of my stuff before I moved to Japan, so I don't have as much as I did back in America. But I have replenished some of it, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. I wish we could show the American trailer for it because it's the one that says like, "Get ready for monster action" or something like that. It's super super fun, but it was originally released in America as a double bill with War of the Gargantuas.
Hey, look at that!
Hey, thanks. Woo! Thank you, Monster Kid Corey.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah. So basically, I don't mean you don't need me to introduce this movie. Everybody knows about it. It's here over my shoulder. One of my favorite collectibles is this signed poster of
That's epic.
speed
That is
poster
epic.
for Monster Zero.
Mhm.
But like I said, Leslie came up with 5, is it 5, right? 5 questions
Yeah.
about this film, and we're going to go ahead and put him into center square, and he can go ahead and Steve Harvey us up.
I appreciate that. And why don't we do the opposite of what we did the last time we had a discussion like this, where I ask the questions and then I answer it, go first. Why don't we do the opposite, where this time I ask the questions and then Kyle, you go first, then David, then Jonathan, and I'll bring it up on the rear.
Perfect.
If you don't mind. But yeah,
Sure.
we're going to talk about this awesome movie, Godzilla versus Monster Zero, Invasion of Astro Monster, Kaiju Daisenso, Great Monster War, Monster Zero, you know. Such an amazing film. Awesome special effects, you know, and the movie that basically answered the question: if your planet is being ravaged by a giant monster, clearly the best solution is to bring in 2 more of them. So, but if you're a fan of Kyle or if you've been following David, you already know where Monster Zero sits with them. You know, on any given day, Monster Zero is like Kyle's #1 movie. It flip-flops between that and GMK. Don't tell Sandra that. Of course, you know, Monster Zero was the film that basically got David his start as a Godzilla fan. So not bad, you know. Of course, when I ask these questions, everybody in the chat, as always, you are more than welcome to answer the questions yourself and get some conversation going on in the chat. So let's start off by celebrating this awesome film of Godzilla versus Monster Zero. First question is kind of a 2-parter, but what is something about Monster Zero that you appreciate the most that still gets you excited to this day? And what is something that you are overly critical about the film that still bothers you to this day? Kyle, go first.
Oh, I'm first? Okay. Well,
yes.
Yup.
Okay. Man, I thought I had more time to come up with my answers. No, but the thing that excites me the most about Monster Zero is that it is a film that I feel for ages, almost since I found the love for it, I guess I would say. I didn't realize how little kaiju action it had in it. And what I appreciate the most is it, to me, is the most engaging Showa era movie from a human perspective that I can watch at any time. And there's not a single character that I'm like, don't really care for them. Like, I love all the characters. I love all the little comedy about this. Like, it is about a movie that's entertaining as a movie, not just as a monster fight scene, which there's great monster fight scenes in this. They're just not the primary focus of the film. So cast and the engaging story. I think really what it is to me, the most exciting thing is that it is a enjoyable film, truly an enjoyable film for me. And the thing that bothers me the most about it is, I don't know, man. I think maybe the thing that bothers me the most is it's not the kaiju dance, the Shay dance for Godzilla, but it's just that we don't get more fighting, more Godzilla stuff, because that time period, I'll say this a little bit later too, was perfect for Toho. They were firing on all cylinders, which is a phrase I like to use here. But those are my answers to this.
Great.
So, David, what about you?
That was extremely articulate, and I'm gonna piggyback on that because it is the cast and the human characters are so engaging that even as a kid, remember, this is the first Godzilla movie that I've ever seen. Even as a little kid, I wasn't like, bring on the monsters, bring on the monsters. I was engaged by the human drama, the human story, so much more than many of the other entries in the Godzilla series. I think what I personally like most about it is I can watch this movie and feel just as awesome watching it in English and in Japanese. I think they did an amazing bang up job in the English dub. We get to hear Nick Adams' voice, and it's just the chemistry between these characters even though Nick Adams is speaking English and they're speaking Japanese, it's still like melds perfectly together, and the camaraderie of the characters. No one phoned it in. Like Kyle said, it's firing on all cylinders. The score is amazing. The King Ghidorah suit never looked better to me, but we'll maybe go into that a little bit later. But for me, I got to say what I agree with Kyle, and also that I love it equally in English as I do in Japanese. And I could go on and on, but I won't for time's sake. And I'm going to pass it down to Jonathan Portman. So what I don't like about it? See, I'm not going to get off that easy. There really isn't that much I don't like about it. I just think maybe I can't complain about the special effects because they're pretty good. They're pretty on point. I guess I'm just going to have to say a little, just like Kyle, a little more kaiju action would have been better. Maybe the introduction of the monsters a little bit sooner. Maybe more stuff on Planet X, which these are all just little tiny nitpicky things, because I really don't have a lot of problems with this movie. Because normally I can say the special effects are clunky, like for example, in Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, I think the special effects are very uneven. I think some of them are fantastic and some of them are a little bit like, ooh, I maybe shouldn't have put that scene in there. But in Monster Zero, everything's pretty much on point. I'm just going to leave it at a little bit more kaiju action. There we go.
Very well said. I mean, look, you guys are all making great points. Now this movie, well, I would say it's definitely in my top 5. I'm a huge fan of this movie, even though it's not like my favorite Godzilla movie. This movie is so entertaining, and it does appeal on a broad spectrum. I mean, what do you want? You want alien invasion, you want monster action, you want engaging characters, and a pretty fun story. That's what you get here. You get all of it. It kind of encapsulates the progression from the original, in King Kong vs. Godzilla, Mothra vs. Godzilla, Ghidorah 3 and Monster, all the way to here. Kind of culminates. They're building to this like sort of epic moment, and it's an overall arc. It's not just one focus or another focus. It's all encompassing. And it does have one of the most engaging cast of human characters. It really does. I mean, they're all likable in one way or another. Like even, Akira Takarada, who you're like, he's being such an ass to Tetsui, but like you get why in a sense. Like if you're coming from him, you can see it from his point of view. You can see all the characters from what they're going through from their point of view. Nick Adams is the cool, calm, and collected. He looks like he fits in just as well with the rest of the cast, and his acting is a tribute to that, and the chemistry he had on set with everyone as well. It shows it shows how much of a good time they had making the movie. Mm-hmm. The music for me is one of the highlights. Obviously, I'm a huge Akira Ifukube fan. Every time they go to Planet X, that music, it just hits a nerve. It hits a trigger in my head that just I can listen to it as a meditation for hours. I really could. It brings me back to so many great memories. Mm-hmm. The strong points for the film for me, and I believe someone earlier, Monster Kid Corey, said it a little earlier, and I 100% agree with him. There's a bit of retrofuturism in this, absolutely, especially when it comes to the Exians and their architecture and the whole look. I mean, I love the production design when they're on Planet X. It just looks incredible. Every set piece that they had, like the way that the ridges on the rocks and the twilight of outer space, it is chef's kiss for Tokusatsu. They put so much love into those sets. Those are strong points for me. I think the one thing I would be critical about, and this has really nothing to do, it's just a personal preference. This has nothing to do with what they did in post-production, but I understand from the domestic point of view, from the Japanese release, you kind of had to dub over Nick Adams for the Japanese audience. You just had to. But if I were to have my perfect version of the film,
yes,
it'd be the Japanese version.
I agree with you. You haven't even said it. I agree with you.
Yep, I agree too.
Yeah.
Yep. That would have been,
because they're so good, right? It's just so when he's speaking English to them and his banter and back and forth with Akira Takarada, you believe it. It's not just like he says a line and then he reacts to it. Oh, I'm going to say my line next. No, there's an actual understanding of what they're saying to each other. And like they actually went through a rehearsal process, probably over drinks and stuff. You know, I mean, I don't know. Like it's just like they had such a great time.
So I think over a bottle of sake.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like
that's a really good point.
Perfect fit.
Really good point, Jonathan. It transcends language. The connection that they make transcends the language. And also, from a child watching this movie, I never found it unusual that a Japanese and an American are best friends. That did not make, oh my God, that's so weird. Why is that happening? I just assumed that's what we do. That's what he's just a cool guy, you know? So in a way, we saw some cool stuff without even realizing it, because, you know, there was still, I guess, still in the 60s, there's still a lot of, you know, a little bit of tension between America and Japan, you know, but I was not part of that. And I just assumed that they were buddies and they were hanging out. Like he lived in Japan and they were like next door neighbors or something. But I never found that to be strange or bizarre. I thought that it just fit perfectly, which is a tribute.
Monster Kid Corey says he also wants a version of King Kong Escapes with Takarada speaking Japanese and Rex Reason speaking English. I would actually say that relationship, even though Rex Reason had some pretty like not great things to say about Japan overall after the fact, his acting is similar to Nick Adams in the fact that they are both like chewing that scenery. So I fully agree. Yeah, I fully agree. Like that's enough. That comes in as a close second probably to me for me in terms of American actors being injected into these films and quality.
And let's hear Linda Miller's real voice, please. Somewhere, some cut, some print on the floor. I want to see it. I'm dying to see Linda's real voice. That would be so cool because we've all met her and she's a wonderful human being. And she's a good friend of the show. She always comes by and hangs out with us at G-Fest. But yeah, so that's another thing. So good point. Good point.
You know, that was a great point, Kyle. I was trying to think because in this realm, in the space of tokusatsu, especially in the Godzilla series, and even you could say Gamera, any series that injected an American actor or a foreign actor into the Japanese film, I can't think of anyone who was better suited for that than Nick Adams. The man respected his co-workers, he respected the human beings, he respected the process, he respected the content.
He embraced the culture as well. Besides the film. Yes, he did.
And you see it in Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Brilliant in that too. Yeah.
And it just begs the question. I always think about this. What if we would have gotten him in War of the Gargantuas? That might have been the greatest, film ever made with him in that. I mean, my goodness, like pairing them all together again.
So what you said about him, the English versus Japanese, I love the fact that he is dubbed in Japanese because I don't want to hear his phoned in performance, his lackluster, somnambulistic performance. And I'm sorry, maybe you guys are fans. You can't dog the movie and phone it in and all of a sudden have a change of heart. You didn't like it. You didn't do your best. Too bad. Not going to celebrate you. Sorry about it.
All right,
we ended up there, but whatever.
I love it.
Let's see. What I appreciate. I mean, there's so much to appreciate about this film. The score, the special effects. Even the kaiju action. Yes, it's not as much of it like it was in Ghidorah, but the human story is so engaging that you're not really marking time when the monsters show up. So that's a good thing. But I think what I most appreciate about this film, because when I first came across this film, I came across that awesome VCR tape that I'm sure John's going to show later on. And it had Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, and it showed Godzilla on Planet X with King Ghidorah hovering above him. And when I saw that title of Monster Zero, not watching the movie, I actually thought that Monster Zero was a completely different monster, which goes to my point. Because it seemed like with the early 60s, King Kong versus Godzilla, Mothra versus Godzilla, Ghidorah, it seems like they were trying to one-up each other, one-up the last film, which is cool. But essentially, in this film, when it comes to the kaiju, they're just recycling the same monsters. But the thing is, how can we recycle the same monsters, but do something different? In Ghidorah, all monsters converge on Japan roughly at the same time, and like in random events, you know. What makes it different now is like all the monsters now are weapons. They're used as weapons to subjugate Earth, and that was a really, really cool spin. It was a different spin, you know. That is what I most appreciate about this film, because even though I prefer Ghidorah, I mean, both films are on my top 10, but Ghidorah falls, you know, in their earlier part, in higher part, excuse me, because of the monster action. But I have to say, I do like the new spin that they use for why the monsters are back, why these same monsters are back, you know, and it's really, really interesting. What I'm overly critical about, well, I got one big thing, one little small nitpick. I wish Mothra's pivotal role in the prior film was flat out ignored. I didn't like that. I really didn't. Even just a throwaway line to mention her. You know what I'm saying? Because she was the pivotal point in that movie, or at least in that fight. If she doesn't incapacitate Ghidorah, do they really defeat Ghidorah? I mean, it begs the question. But I don't like how her involvement was flat out ignored. Now, I know for budgetary reasons, they were going to include her based on what I read, but for budgetary reasons, they totally decided not to, which is understandable. But I wish they would have.
Well, you know who's to blame for that, really? That's the Exians. You got to blame the Exians, because they must have been against Mothra. They didn't call up Mothra when they called for Monster 01 and Monster 02. They didn't want 3. They didn't want Monster 03.
Maybe they knocked her out or something. I don't know.
But Leslie, that's a really good, you know, that never even occurred to me. But when you said it, I'm like, yeah, Mothra should have been in some capacity in that film too. Excellent. Good insight.
Not really. I wouldn't go as far as like including her into the movie, because that would have been like what, the like third straight movie. Because remember, Mothra's in the next movie, so we would have like 4 Mothra movies all back to back to back. I think that would have been kind of overkill. I'm just saying, like, it would have been nice to have like a throwaway line mentioning her. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But you know, it is what it is.
Oh, so if one of the Exians had been like, "Hey, what about Monster 03?" and the controller's like,
"What?
No thanks."
You know, something like that.
He just waved him off like
yeah.
So I mean, so I don't really particularly like that, but really the one that really grinds my gears, and I'm going, and Kyle, don't even front me with that crap that you tried to give me when we first met each other. I don't like the ending. I think this is a great movie, but it sucks. It has an ending that absolutely sucks. It doesn't have any creativity. This is the third movie where the final battle ends, where all monsters tumble into the ocean. And it's like, does Ghidorah win? Because based on what happened in the first 2 movies that exercised this finish, normally it's the monster. Oh God, I wish John was here. Normally it's the monster that emerges from the water and begins their trek back home is considered the winner. But there was no sign of Rodan. If there's no sign of Godzilla, now we can guess that since Godzilla is a sea animal, also he's fine, right? But nobody's
Rodan didn't make it.
Like, is Rodan okay down there? Like, you know, it's the bubbling water. It's the bubbling water to signify that they're alive and well. I wish what I would have done after Ghidorah flees and he's off into space. I just wish they would have shown at least Godzilla and Rodan re-emerging and them going their separate ways. Because it's not like they were friends to begin with, honestly.
It would have been cool if like Godzilla had like was carrying Rodan on his back and like stepped out of the water and then just like threw him into the air, and then Rodan flies off.
Something
and then
to acknowledge
goes off to somewhere.
Yeah,
or Rodan carrying Godzilla out of the water, flying him out and just dropping him off.
There you go.
Land. Yeah, I mean,
he should drop him off on Solgel Island.
Yes, you could.
I mean, something to acknowledge.
Or Lychee Island, I guess, would be the next one, right?
I mean, like, you know, we can
you know,
we can see Rodan fly off, and we see Godzilla swimming towards the south. It's like, oh, he's going towards the South Seas. Wink, wink. You know, but
very insightful, Leslie.
But again, that is one thing I just can't get past. When I asked Kyle that, because again, the first time we met each other, right? And I knew he was a huge fan of Monster Zero, and because I was kind of nervous meeting him, right? It was at G Fest, it was at the Crown, right? And it was at the bar, and he walks up trying to get some drinks for his friends, or at least get him a drink. And me and Sandra sitting there having some food. I'm like, Sandra, that's the guy from Kaiju Cast. And this before Sandra met Kyle. And Sandra was like, okay. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't understand. Like, he runs
the appropriate response. Let me tell you.
He's like, I'm gonna go there and talk to him. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna get some more ranch for my salad. Like, okay, fine. So I go up and I said, hey, how you doing? You know, little did we know that we would be best friends and run this show together, you know? I was like, but I gotta ask you, who really won at the end of Monster Zero? And I explained to him the whole situation. He gonna look at me with a fake smile and be like, the fans won. Yay. I'm sitting there like, really? That's what you're gonna give me? Really?
Yeah, you're a trip.
You know, but you know, but after that day, I became a Kyle fan. So you know, but you know,
Takarada should approve since he was in the film.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's like I'm having second thoughts.
Yeah, but those are my answers to that question.
I like your answers. That's really insightful. I'm very impressed with your answers.
Okay, so here's the next question. Since this movie is more so human driven and human alien story driven, what is your favorite character from this movie and why? Now, I know the popular answer is going to be either the controller, Namikawa, or Glen, or Fuji, whatever. But there's so many other, at least a few other great characters besides them. But it's your choice. But who is your favorite human character or alien character and why? Kyle, go.
Clearly, it's the lady who runs the house that Tetsui lives in, where she
Love
goes,
her.
that I will forever hear that for the rest of my life in exactly the same inflection and cadence. It's so good.
It's so loud and it's so obnoxious. And then he says,
can
"Thank
hear
you."
it
And she
across the
goes,
street.
"Okay."
yeah. No, you know, obviously, my favorite's Nick Adams. He just comes in, and every single scene he's in, he
chews it out.
He makes it the best. But you know, I have to give a huge shout out to Yoshio Tsuchiya, who plays the controller. And I'm not doing that just because, he's Tsuchiya and he's a famous actor, or I'm not doing that because, he's like this pivotal character in the film, but he really does make it. He is the best alien, in my opinion. Like, he, 100%. For one, his history with believing in UFOs and his interest in like being the weird character, like that alone makes him right for the controller. And then in addition to that, he came up with his own little weird things that he's doing with his hands, and like I think he even said like when the language as well, like when it's not really in the American version, but there's a scene in the Japanese version where you hear him like chirping, blah, 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 like, and I think to me that just like sort of exudes why Tsuchiya is the perfect person for those types of roles. And I think what I heard is that he was supposed to be something else, and he was like, no, I want to be the alien in this movie. So, and I know that also was for, I might be getting that confused with Mysterians and his role there, but man, I love him, and he's my choice really, because someone else could pick Nick Adams and why, and I'll leave it at that really. David.
Well, you really can't go wrong because all of these choices are great. And I have to go with the lady who works at Space Authority who says, "Oh, look out the window." That's my favorite character in the whole movie. My favorite character. No. Sorry. It's got to be. And I know Leslie started this, question with it's cliche, but I have to go with Namikawa just because there's so many reasons. Strong female character, which wasn't really typical back then, especially in Japan. Kind of provocative. The fact that she was making out with Nick Adams in the car in the convertible, that's kind of next level ahead of its time. The fact that her character had an arc, like one of the few characters that actually had a character arc. She starts off as one thing, life happens, the story happens, and then she ends up being something else at the end. If it wasn't for her, we would have been subjugated by Planet X. We would have been a colony of Planet X. She gave them the solution to destroy the aliens in the pocket, and she put it in his pocket. And again, like the chemistry between her and Nick Adams, being from different countries, transcended culture. And her, just the way she looked, iconic. I mean, everybody knows, Miss Namikawa, and she played, and even though it's kind of like mirrors and stuff, she played dual roles, like she was all over the place, and there's no denying that she is a pivotal part to move that story forward. And again, it's undeniable, even though it may sound cliche to some people. I don't think so. I think it's pivotal, but like Kyle said, you could pick Nick Adams, you could pick Tsuchi Asan, and there is no wrong answer, in my opinion. But I'm going to go with Miss Namikawa and Kumi Mizuno. One of my big regrets, and it's not really a regret because I didn't have the opportunity, and none of us really did, is to meet her in person, to get her a photograph with her. That's all I would want to make it complete, to make
if only she would come to America.
I know, or do something in Japan while we're all there, or something. That would be another thing that would make this fanboys monster dreams complete. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Kumi Mizuno's incredible performance of Miss Namikawa. Jonathan, how about you?
Yeah, this one's hard for me, honestly, because if you were to say like Mothra versus Godzilla, there's obvious answers there, and like other films, but this one has such a strong cast, as we were talking about. It's hard for me to pick one, but since I was talking about the relationship between Glen and Fuji, Nick Adams is great. I love Nick Adams, and I have nothing but great things to say about Nick Adams. But Akira Takarada's astronaut Fuji, he's a great character to me, and a little misunderstood in ways, because he comes off very abrasive, but also very loving, and you see more of his authoritative loving, like his tough love side towards Tetsuo and his sister, more so than his loving side. But you could tell he really cares about his sister, and he just wants the best for her. But it does come off like very dickish at times.
No, it's a very Japanese thing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of like he's almost portraying the father angle from what you would see in an American film,
right?
Where the boyfriend is trying to impress the father. Tetsuo is trying to impress Fuji, because essentially Fuji's the one who's got the close relationship with Haruno, and so that relationship essentially is what he needs to sort of like get in and be like, hey, look, I'm cool. You're cool with me. You should be cool with me. And Takarada's portrayal is, yes, I would agree with you. It's a little bit dickish, but for the right reasons. And he's like, I love when he literally is like, I gotta go, and he just throws the money on the table. And like, he's like, you got to do something pretty big to impress me, buddy. And then they're like sitting there holding the money, going like, wait.
No, it's great, but Takarada, like you said, his portrayal, it just sticks with me. Like he's got this suaveness and this coolness about him, and this calm control about him, and authoritative. Like he's the guy in charge. He's the man in charge. I think
Nick Adams and Akira Takarada did such a good job bonding outside of filming that relationship between the two of them really solidified that. I don't want to say their hierarchy, but they're in charge. Like they're not in charge, but like they definitely, they come from a place of like, we're the top dogs. And like, I think that is absolutely because of their relationship off screen as well.
For sure. You have like I was saying, the sort of stoicism and the seriousness of Takarada at times. And then you you have Glen who comes in, Nick Adams, he comes in, but he's the perfect like compliment to him.
Yeah.
Because he'll like stick in a joke or he'll say something to lighten the mood. He's like, lighten up, dude. Like, chill. Like he kind of brings him back to earth a little bit.
My mistake, buddy. We're 100 degrees off course.
Yeah.
180 degrees.
What's the packed on ice line? I always forget.
That's
you should have left your sister packed on ice.
Yes, yeah, I love.
And then
that.
he goes, oh.
He rolls his eyes. He's like, whatever. But can I have an honorable mention in there because I feel like there's one person or one human character in these films that's always in these films, and whether he's playing the military commander for the JSDF. Or he's mostly playing the head of the head scientist, Jun Tazaki,
the World Space Authority,
Dr. Sakurai. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I ever since I was a kid, I wanted to like be him because he was always the main guy I looked up to. Like he wasn't necessarily the main guy, but he was the guy you would go to like in the situation. All right, let's figure this out. Let's take care of business. Or like in Mothra vs. Godzilla, military commander. Like we're gonna take care of business. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna kick everyone's. You're gonna kick Godzilla's butt. Like he was really like one of those actors that was no matter what role he was in, he played it to a T. He played it like he was the main guy in the room, even if he was the third guy back.
I did think about calling him out because he's great in this film.
He's just a standard, right? In the realm of Godzilla.
Yeah, and it wasn't until I saw like the Japanese version in widescreen, because like when Takarada's like, "Doctor, is Haruno there?" and he's like, he turns to look, and you can in the widescreen version you can see or Fuji's sister Haruno go.
She's like,
"No, I'm not here," and so he like pauses a beat, and he's like. No.
The dubbed version completely cuts that part out. You don't. I mean, you don't see it because of the not the widescreen. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
In Mothra vs. Godzilla. He's the head of.
He's the editor.
Head of the newspaper.
The editor. I'm sorry. I totally messed that up.
And he's amazing in that role.
That. But he's so good.
Again,
one of my favorites in that role. So apologies for the confusion. But and then also Robert bringing up one of his best roles, and I do agree in Atragon, 100%. That's a big one.
Yeah, I mean he's a standard. He's a
standard.
This film again. When Leslie came up with the part of the other question, what do you find fault with this? It's really difficult because the character certainly not with the characters, and you could choose any one of these people, and everybody can see why you've chosen them because they relate to so many different people. It's great. And this, in a nutshell, is why we love this movie so much.
100%.
All right, Leslie, what do you got?
Mr. Chambers.
Hey, Kyle, I sent you a picture on your messenger. Is there a way could you blow it up for me?
I think so.
Because again, there's so many great characters to choose from. The popular ones, of course, like I said, Namikawa, Glen, Fuji, the Controller. But if you would have asked me this question when I was a kid, it'd be kind of hard to answer. But now that I'm an adult and I've seen this film so many different times, actually the one I'm riding with is actually Tetsui. Because what y'all been mentioning as relates to Takarada. Takarada, and I threw this in our chat several weeks ago, making a joke, but again, I really felt sorry for Tetsui because it seemed like at every turn, Takarada's giving him crap. Now I understand, like what Kyle said, that was kind of like the norm, I guess. And you know what? That's kind of like normal here. Sometimes you need an approval from an older sibling, just to get that, to get your relationship with somebody. What I'm saying, to get that seal of approval. So I understand that, but I didn't appreciate how brutal and savage that, and this is ironic coming from me because considering how brutal and savage that I am, but the fact that he is brutal and savage to his face, and we mentioned this when we covered the Galloping Ghost Monster Zero kit, Monster One kit a few months ago with me, Jonathan, and David, and we talked about this situation, and in that scene where they're having lunch, and he basically flat out says, "I don't think you can make my sister happy." He's like,
I know.
And I'm like,
dude, come on.
I'm like that couldn't have happened in 2025. I'm like, look, especially
No, I
if
love how that actually comes off from the movie though, that stance that Tetsuo is taking at that moment is because he feels defeated because he can't get anywhere with
catch a break.
the World Toy Toy Corporation or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Because he's been trying to like get some answers about the contract,
and they're giving
like at that point, like if they had dinner from the first moment where he's like celebrating, he probably would have been like, you know what, Fuji, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
but
right.
he's already so deflated. Yeah. Anyway, his character arc is phenomenal in this movie too.
I mean, and Takarada's so mean to him, Leslie. He's like, I don't understand why a company would pay so much for a simple invention like that.
And that's what I'm saying.
Well, I haven't gotten any money yet. Well, that's what I thought. You know, just one thing, boom, boom, boom. He just keeps shooting him down. It's like,
it's like at every freaking turn, he is just getting his manhood served to him on a silver platter, and he just takes it. But I appreciate Tetsuya because at least he's trying. He's trying to make something of himself, and he's trying to get this off the ground. But I mean, it's not his fault that he's getting to run around from what we know is the aliens, right? But at least he's trying. Like in 2025, I would have pulled brother aside. I'm like, look, you're not going to disrespect me in front of the company. Like, come on now, you're not going to do that. But the ironic thing is, the irony of it all, which is this shot right here. When you think about what happens at the end, because the plan to bring down the aliens is twofold. One, Takarada's plan with the Asako light ray, but Tetsuya's invention weakens the aliens,
enhances it,
enhances the planet, And even when this shot right here, after they escape, Glen and Tetsuya escape the aliens, and they come across Takarada finalizing the plans, and Takarada's explaining, and Tetsuya's like, and Takarada's like, beat it. And then the
beat it,
Tetsuya.
Like,
that's when the sister had enough. She was like, look, don't say that. Don't talk to him.
And
like
Glen
that.
too. Glenn's like, no, listen, this guy's got the thing, man.
I was there.
And Glen is explaining it and explaining the whole situation, and talking about it like, and look at this shot right here. That shot from the sister, she is looking directly at Tetsuya. It's like, that's my man right there. And if we survive this kaiju attack tonight, I'm gonna rock his world. I'm gonna rock his world. That's my man. That's my man right there. This right here is Tetsuya's validation. So again, we love Takarada, but I love how he was able to stick it to him this one time before the movie is over with. And that is why Tetsuya is my favorite human character from this movie. You know what I'm saying? That looked like
making these movies spicy.
The look the sister gives, like, you know what, you want your wife or your spouse look at you like that. That means you know you're getting some that night. I'm just saying. But you know. But that's my favorite character. All right, moving on to the third question. Moving on to the third question. You see, when you watch Monster Zero again, you're gonna think about it, right? You see, you're gonna think about it more.
That's that look. I'm gonna think.
You can't help but think about it now.
Yeah, you're gonna think about it now. Yeah. Also, fun fact. When you first see Tetsuya in the movie, when he's working on his invention, excuse me, if you look in the back, there's a little Gorath, little model, there's a little reference back there. So I'm just saying, wasn't he in Gorath? Wasn't that actor in Gorath?
Oh, he was definitely in Gorath, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little rocket ship that's like in the background that was used in Gorath. So please check it out.
He was Kumi Mizuno's love interest in Gorath.
So they swinging. Okay, no, that's cool. Okay, all right. Third question.
We're put in the same universe. I see.
Yeah.
All right. Third question. What is your favorite kaiju moment from this movie? This shouldn't be too hard to answer, but Kyle, go ahead.
My favorite kaiju specific moment from the movie is when the control of the Planet X aliens over Godzilla stops. And it's kind of cliche and maybe a little overacty in terms of like what's happening with the character of Godzilla. But, you know, they get the Asako light ray, right, is what disrupts the communication. And so it's sort of like zaps him back into figuring it out. And that doesn't he has like a little eye shift. And like he stands up, and then you hear bum 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 bum, and
it's on.
You know he's back, baby. And because he's back, that means Godzilla can fight against King Ghidorah finally again. So yeah, that specific moment, even though it's not like, oh man, that cool destruction, or it's not, oh man, that like amazing special effects scene. It's like something about the emotional impact of that scene is like Godzilla wasn't himself, but no, now all of a sudden he's ready to do some ass kicking. That's short answer. That's my favorite moment. Kaiju moment.
Cool.
Mr. Dopko, what about you?
Mine's a little different too. It's not actually a battle scene. It's when they position the saucers over Lake Myojin, and you hear that eerie music that portends something. And you got to remember, when I was a kid, I didn't know what Godzilla was. I didn't know that was going to be Godzilla coming up.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
Can you imagine, like when I saw what was under there, what Monster 01 actually was? Just that whole scene and that score that accompanies that scene, and then the second saucer goes to Washikizawa, the mountains, and destroys the rock and pulls out Rodan, and just
awesome.
Them just ready, like, okay, now we're talking. Okay, we waited all this time. We waited like what, 40 minutes to see the monsters, and here we go. Now from that it's like a roller coaster from there. And of course, the battle on Planet X. This is the first time we see Godzilla in outer space, or maybe the only time we see Godzilla in outer space. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's with that Planet X setting is just great. But the initial capture of Monster 01 and Monster 02, the special effects accompanied by that incredibly eerie score is something that still gives me chills to this day when I see it. And I'm going to go one step further. A special effect scene, not a monster scene, that I love and I still think it holds up to this day, is when the two spaceships rise out of Lake Myojin.
If the question had been what's your favorite tokusatsu special effects moment from the movie, that would have been my answer too, because even every time I watch it, every time it is so good.
So good.
The way that the bubbles come up and there's
the smoke, the way the smoke just goes.
Smoke comes out, and when the saucer comes out of the water and the smoke like curls around it.
The lighting,
it doesn't get better than that.
Like,
it never gets better than that.
The moonlight off of like the water and stuff.
All of it
from the night. I mean, my goodness.
And then the line that comes right after that. They were here all along. You're like, oh, yeah, so good. All right, sorry, I went a little too far, but this is what happens when I talk about this movie. So, all right,
Jonathan, what about you and your favorite kaiju moment?
It's never too far, David. I gotta say, one of my favorite moments as a kid is the initial reveal of King Ghidorah on Planet X when they get there, and because you hear like the sound effects, right? You hear like the thunder clapping, and you hear like you see the lightning streaks coming down, like the gravity beams, and then
he's got a great music hit too.
Yeah, and the music.
That's
hit
yes,
yes, and then the music, and then his theme as he's rolling over, and is Monster Zero, King. You call him on Earth King Ghidorah. It's like that is such a G way to like enter in the scene. And keep in mind, when I was a kid, and I'm sure it's the same for you guys too, we weren't watching these movies in sequential order. So I watched this one out of order, obviously. So I didn't know Ghidorah was in. I didn't know Ghidorah was going to be like in the movie at all. And when you hear them talk about Monster Zero, and then you see the gravity beams, and I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, oh, and it says, you see Ghidorah come in. It's like we call him, you call him, King Ghidorah on Earth or whatever. And I'm like, it's Ghidorah. I'm like freaking out as a kid. I still get that same sort of adrenaline rush and dopamine hit when I watch that scene, and all taking place in my favorite area of the movie on Planet X. Just looks super cool. And it's so deceptive what they're doing, because like really they put on like a pretty elaborate show of like, whichever Exian was like producing that whole thing was like chef's kiss, because they're like, all right, cue Ghidorah, all right, cue the lights, cue the shaking, cue the all right, now bring him out. It's like the whole thing, just to say we need your monsters to help us because we've been,
I would have liked. That's a
so
cool
long.
concept for like a behind the scene, not a behind the
Oh
scene,
my God.
but a side scene where you'd have
He's like,
all
right,
the control room. Yeah.
Cue the smoke. All right, you just come out in 3, 2, 1. Cue cam A. Cam A. Okay, yeah, it's like the whole thing.
Pull in the elevators. Pull in the elevators.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jonathan, you skip to a part that's your favorite, which is cool. But I think the scene that precedes that for me is even more impactful when you hear all of the bells and whistles going off and they're all talking, and he's like, "I will show you Monster Zero," because you didn't know what it was until then.
Well, that's sort of what I'm alluding to. Is like when I was saying they were like the whole.
But when he says that, and he presses the button because you don't know what Monster Zero is going to be.
Right. That's the whole point.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that part. I thought
my whole point was that when I was a kid, I didn't know it was going to be Ghidorah. So that whole reveal after the build up to that moment is like that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Understandable.
What about you, Leslie?
Oh, my
man with the questions.
I know my favorite moment is and even now I've been watching this film more in preparation for this episode, and it seems like the more I watch this particular part, I get really amped up. It's not the actual battle on Planet X, but it's the beginning of the battle when the monsters are in their electromagnetic spheres.
Yep.
All of a sudden you see the lightning, and then you hear the Ifukube music, then you see Ghidorah flying from a distance, and that gets you pumped up. You're like, free the monsters. Come on, let's go. And it's like Ghidorah flies in and starts attacking. Godzilla just wakes up. He's like, all right, it's on. And Rodan Ghidorah fires his beam at Rodan. Rodan scurries like, oh, what it's like just the beginning of that fight, it's a shame the fight only lasted like 90 seconds, but still, just the beginning of that fight, the build up to that fight is my favorite moment, my favorite kaiju moment from the movie. So
quality, not quantity. It doesn't need to be a long fight.
So all right, my next question. We can speed through this one. Kind of the last question is kind of like more of a elongated answer one. But if you were president of a toy company, what collectible from this movie do you want to see made next? You pick the monster, or you pick the character, you pick the company, you pick the gimmick, the size, whatever. It's all up to you. So what is it the collectible you want to see made next from Monster Zero? Kyle, go.
X Plus. I think your Toho Maniacs line needs to have a nice A-cycle light ray and affordable A-cycle light ray, because that is what the world needs now.
Yes, 1,000 times over, 100%.
Well, I've clearly disgusted Leslie. He is out of here.
I guess is he going to get one? Maybe he's got one already. Maybe he's got
he's got the prototype.
It's like, well, I was gonna wait to reveal this at a later date, but
yeah. How about you, David?
Oh man, this is another really tough question. Aside from having a realistic like replica of the Lady Guard alarm, how cool would that be? Even with the sound and everything. No, I would, with the sound and everything, yeah.
That would be hilarious.
With like two modes. You'd have regular okay in your house mode and actual live, I'm in trouble mode.
Shake your teeth loose.
Imagine being in like a library and that goes off. You're like, oh.
I would probably have to say, because it's one of my favorite suits, I would love to see a gigantic Daisenso Goji. Just because it is one of my Godzilla. When I think of Godzilla, it's one of the three that come to my head. And I think that would be probably the last gigantic I would ever buy if it was a Daisenso Goji. And I think that's what I would like to have. I think, and we've been talking about this for years, and I think it's missing that representation. That scale is definitely missing. Maybe Spiral will do one in their legacy collection. Who knows before X Plus does, but I would just love a large scale Daisenso Gochi. I think that would be great.
That is great. I love that. Damn. Well, Kyle, it's so funny when you said the A-Cycle light rate. That was the one I was going to choose, but it wasn't going to be in the way you said it. I agree. It should be Toho Maniacs 100%. Especially since they did the Godzilla Tower. I mean, now they've opened the floodgates to the mechs, the machines, like the vehicles. I even told someone this at Toho International once. I said, you guys should really do like a Micro Machines line of like the vehicles, like all of them, like all the elaborate vehicles and the weapons.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
That would be cool as like a collectible. I mean, I would collect all those. I will pivot then, and I will say that my second choice, which is I don't think these are around, and yeah, they're kind of available. Ultraman has been, Subaraya has been doing this with Ultraman a little bit, with like the beta capsules, like the replicas of the beta capsules, like the 1-to-1 scales.
Yeah.
Give us a 1-to-1 scale replica of the Exian laser gun. I think stuff like that would be really cool to have. I don't think there's even that out there. Like you could have it on like a little stand, like with a certificate of authenticity, and I would just love to see more replicas in this world, in this universe, done like of the weapons or of like especially for the Exian laser pistols or whatever they're called.
That's
so
true.
Jonathan, when Kyle and I did Hail to the King in Japan, we went to that special dinner, that special signing that had a lot of Japanese fans bring their collectibles and memorabilia from the film there. Someone did bring, Kyle, as you remember, replica laser gun from Monster Zero.
So
actually,
crazy.
I have a photo of it somewhere.
I would love to revisit that. Yeah,
it was very, very cool, and I don't think it was anything that was made. I think it was either fan made or like a garage kit kind of made. But it was definitely a laser pistol, and he had. I think I have a picture of. Is it in there? Is it in the book? Of Akira Kubo holding it. So.
So cool.
Yeah. So yes, absolutely, and it's a cool looking laser if it's in there. But
absolutely,
nice choice.
What about you, Leslie?
Choice.
While we wait,
wait. Blow me up.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, it's so
there
cool.
It is. There it is. Oh my God.
Now I want one.
Wow.
Let's go, Toho.
I agree with you, Butch. More props.
Yeah, more props.
More
100%.
More 1-to-1 replicas. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, this is good times. Okay, I gotta put this away. Oh
like,
yeah. Also, those shades.
Oh,
R.I.P. Those shades.
Yeah, I know those.
Those shades are great.
You know what? You know I'm going to do a photo book of our trip too. So just get prepared for that.
I am watching that tonight. I'm watching Hail the King after we get off here.
Oh,
I sure am.
All right.
All right, Leslie.
Last question. Did you answer it?
No.
Yeah.
But y'all, not answer it. But y'all got some great answers. Kyle, what you said with the Toho Maniacs, like give us the saucer, give us the P1 rocket. Like something like that.
Ooh, a 3-up, like a 3-pack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But for me, I want to see more love devoted towards Monster Zero 2. And of course, you've seen this a few times before. This is the Resin Chef 30cm resin model kit of Rodan from 1965. And yes, there's a difference. If you watch Ghidra, if you watch Monster Zero, there is a difference. It's the same suit, but they modified it where it looked a little bit different, like Mechagodzilla in the 74, 75. Yep. There are differences. I mean, to the naked eye, or at least not to a hardcore fan, you would think it's the same suit. There are differences there. You know what I'm saying? And the same goes with Rodan from Monster Zero. And when it comes to Rodan, when it comes to them bringing out stuff for Monster Zero, they incorporated Godzilla in there, whatever. They already, a lot of times they would use a 64 Rodan, to save money. But go the extra mile and sculpt the Rodan from Monster Zero, because again, there is a difference. The wings are different. His face is different. The paint job is a little bit different. So I want to see more Monster Zero 2 merch. And actually, you know what? Let me give a little small plug to Galloping Ghost Kaiju Kobo, because they've done a whole bunch of kits. Whatever. But one of their next kits is going to be Rodan from Monster Zero. So it's also going to be him. I'm pushing him to do a flying one because we need more flying Rodans, obviously. But he's also going to produce the one, the moment that David talked about, where he's abducted in the electromagnetic sphere. They already got one for Godzilla. Rodan is coming too at some point. But yeah,
nice.
But I want to see more Rodan's 1965 kits, or at least more merchandise. And the last question is, hold on, let me pull it up. In your opinion, what is the legacy of Monster Zero in your opinion, and why did this film still stand out in this awesome 70+ year film franchise? Kyle, go.
Ooh.
Well, simple answer. Economics. No, the real answer is the legacy of Monster Zero is sort of like what I said at the beginning. Like, this is Toho firing on all cylinders. This is really the reasons are 1, Ishiro Honda, 2, Eiji Tsuburaya, 3, Shinichi Sekizawa as the screenwriter, 4, Akira Ifukube doing the music, 5, Nick Adams, 6, Yoshio Tsuchiya. There's just the main cast is tight, right? So you've got Nick Adams, Akira Takarada, Kumi Mizuno, Akira Kubo, and I'm terrible because I cannot remember the gal who plays Haruno, but then also Jun Tazaki, right? So that is the main cast of this film, and you get some secondary characters who are also pretty good, but they're just doing their jobs. But that cast works so well that I think when you couple that with the directing skills of Honda, the writing skills and the script coming out of Sekizawa, and the special effects skills of Eiji Tsuburaya and his crew, and more, it's just like they produced some of the best films right around that time. But Golden to me, that's why that's the legacy of this film. Is that it is really like, when you talk about the big ones in Toho, those are the big ones for me. So like all of those actors solidifying one of the best casts around, and the crew and the people running the movie making one of the best movies around. It's just, that's the legacy for me. And while you do get the same crew producing a lot of the films from that era, and they are just very good as well, and the same cast members even in some of the other films, let's be honest, Nick Adams is the icing on the cake that really seals the deal for me in terms of this film and everything I love about it. So there you go.
That's great.
My answer.
Well done. Very, very good. Very well done.
Okay, so I think that the legacy of Monster Zero is twofold.
Thank you, Robert.
Number one, it sets the tone for future films that focus on characters and not just spectacle. It does have spectacle though, but it also focuses on the characters. Perfect example is -1. That movie's so successful because of the characters. We care about the characters. We identify with the characters. The character actors are fantastic. So that legacy carries through. Not always successfully, because there's a couple of entries that do not get that memo. They didn't get those phone call that you need to do that. But and the second thing that I think is a legacy is it sets up the popularity of established characters in a universe coming together to make a film entertaining and successful to make the fans happy. Look at Marvel, look at DC. They're all coming together. This is kind of the origin of that kind of thing. This is Toho's established characters coming together like a mashup, and they're fighting villains and things. And look, we're getting that almost ad nauseum now in Hollywood. But this is the origin of that. I mean, if you want to go back even further, it's like the Universal monsters, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, the House of Frankenstein, those kind of things where all of the characters kind of come together for the fans who love the genre. It was done first in Ghidra with an extra monster, but I think it was perfected.
You think it's better in this one?
Correct. It was perfected in Monster Zero, and I think that's overlooked a lot because when you think of the movies of today, all of the Marvel movies that have all of the characters sort of coming together, they didn't go so far as to do like multi-universes and that kind of thing. But again, if you think about it, this is where that all begins, and our love and audiences responded to this formula even back then, and the legacy is Godzilla is still an enduring character all these years later, 71 years later, and we're still seeing things like this. So and again, Destroy All Monsters is kind of like the end game, Marvel universe, but I think doing it best is probably, well, not probably, definitely Monster Zero. I think
no question.
They're the ones.
No question.
Yeah. So that's my answer. A little bit esoteric, but that's my answer.
It's a great answer. Wow. You guys are all hitting all the great points here. What is there to say that hasn't been said already? But I'm just going to go through my perspective a little bit. This movie is a classic in a sense that it's what I was saying earlier. It's a culmination in the golden era, and especially in the Honda Tsuburaya Ifukube era, where it all comes together. Now, I know Mothra vs. Godzilla, we all say that's one where it all comes together, and that's true. But this one is on a more broader scale, is a more appealing product because of all that's entailed. It has much more of a broader narrative with the characters and the cast. The interstellar sort of nature of Godzilla is now brought into the fold. It's no longer on Earth. Now we've expanded now to outer space. We brought that into the fold with Godzilla. And I think the music, this is one of Akira Ifukube's best scores outside of Mothra vs. Godzilla. It's got one of the most classic marches, the Monster Zero march that's echoed in time and been reproduced over and over again, not to the same quality, but in essence of inspiration and whatnot. This movie it hits all the marks, and that's really all I can say. It's probably one of the more relatable Godzilla movies in my eyes, next to like -1 and stuff like that. It's very the characters. I relate to a lot of them in a lot of different ways. You can't really say that about a lot of these movies, that you can relate to certain characters, and at least all of them in some way. You feel for all of them.
Jonathan, that's super insightful because Mothra vs. Godzilla, although it's my favorite, I think it's a better movie, but this movie has a broader appeal, just like you said, and because of all the things you just mentioned. And as far as the Monster Zero march, I was hoping that we would hear that in -1 at that last, the operation to kill Godzilla. I think it would have been a bit more effective, just for me personally, than the King Kong versus Godzilla, Faroe Islands thing.
The frigate march.
The frigate march, which transformed into the Monster Zero march. I think that would have been a tiny bit more effective in that last scene and more epic. But I mean, that's just a teeny tiny thing. But your insight is spot on.
That's really all I have to say about the movie itself. The tone, everything about it just hits. All right, Leslie.
Excellent.
Monster Zero's legacy in a franchise more than 70 years, but so many great standout entries. To me, this is the movie that I always point to whenever I'm hit with the criticism that the reason why we watch monster movies is because of the monsters. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that, because I feel that a compelling human story, a good human story, a great human story, yes, better, but at least a good one is a vital component when it comes to these movies. It's kind of hard to be invested in what the monsters are doing unless you care about the humans that they put in harm's way. again, as I joked many times before, if you want to see just Godzilla do stuff, I mean, just watch YouTube, But for me, as a fan, getting older and, appreciate more about the human side of these films, Monster Zero is the one that I always point to and say, you know what, that was an example of a great human engaging story. And honestly, you know what, even though the title characters are kaiju, they're really the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's the human alien story that drives this movie. In a way, the monster scenes are kind of like an added bonus, which is cool. But I also feel that this also is one of those films where it's a monster film where you want to just turn your brain off and have a good time, especially in this world where we're dealing with so much right now. At least for me, to get away from all that, I just want to see a monster movie, like a good old-fashioned monster movie where I don't have to carry no baggage with me. I want to just see these outlandish special effects and these wacky, over-the-top scenarios that we know will never happen in real life. Sometimes you need movies like that, and Monster Zero is probably the perfect movie for that. And also, isn't like the last movie where basically all the original creative minds work together for the last time? Honda, Ifukube, I mean, together. I mean, they would come back, peppered out in other entries after this film. But this was like the last time all the original creative forces, Tsuburaya, Honda, Sekizawa, Tanaka, Nakajima, Ifukube, they all were like, this was like basically like the last time. So this was like basically like the high point in terms of special effects of the Showa period. I think the movies that came after that, they tried, but they couldn't get to that level. Like the one that comes close is Mechagodzilla 74. That's the one that I think kind of rivals Monster Zero in terms of special effects. But in terms of being the pinnacle, I think Monster Zero's legacy is the best special effects movie from the Showa period. You know what I'm saying? Won't say all time because you got -1 and you got some other cool stuff out there. But in terms of Showa era, absolutely, in my opinion, the absolute best movie with the best special effects is, of course, Invasion of Astro Monster, aka Monster Zero. So, but I want to thank y'all so much for this discussion. Again, the movie does turn 60 officially in December, but we jump the gun a little bit about it. And again, it's always fun to talk about this movie, especially with Kyle and David. I know this movie is a huge, huge favorite of theirs. And it's nice to get their perspective as well as Jonathan. And everybody in the chat for answering the questions. Really do appreciate it. But this is Collect All Monsters. And before we go to collect this moment, and I think we are doing a giveaway, we're gonna showcase. I gave the marching order to all my friends here to showcase not your top 3, not your top 5, whatever, but show everything that you have in a concise way. Because we're all fast, 2.5 hours.
Good Lord.
To show everything that you have as relates to Monster Zero. So, Kyle, go first, buddy. What you got? I know you got at least something from this movie, right?
Okay. This is the Sonorama, the original 1970s or 1960s Sonorama. So it's in pretty bad shape, but this is it doesn't have the record, but I still love this. I got this in Japan in 2015. This is the special effects series, which has the nice big pictures of the centerfold of the Shin Godzilla. I have the Kodansha DVD set that also comes with actually, instead of pulling those out, it comes with all of these paper good reproductions, which are awesome. The perfect completion book, whatever these are called. Also, lots of great info, lots of great pictures, lots of great everything. So that's the easiest stuff to show. And then let's just have a little parade here, starting with this acrylic stand of the saucer stealing scene. I've showed this off on the show before, but the newly released Bandai Godzilla in the Shea pose, and I put a Santa Cruz skateboard on his foot there.
Love that.
I've got the Spiral 65, and then a somewhat similar color scheme, the Gigabrain 65 as well. And with 65 Godzilla, I've got the Marmot Parababy and his companion, the Rodan. And of course, because those are Parababies, I think they came with these guys originally.
Yes, they did.
P1 and
So
a
cool.
monster,
Yes.
Planet X saucer.
Yeah, Jonathan, you got that
And-
P1.
I do.
And speaking of Parababies, I've got the Namikawa and the
nice.
controller, Planet X controller. I'm wrapping up. This is fast.
Lightning round. Gravity beam round.
This is from what is that company? One Up Toy for one of the Wonder Festivals. They released these two Godzilla and Rodan in
Love
their
those cute
little saucer things.
And the saucer.
Yeah.
And then you
Love
get
it.
the clear hamburger saucer with the rays, and you take off the rays, and so you get your own little saucer effect here, like that.
love the effect. Wait.
Okay. Also, our friend Greg gave me this. He bought something off eBay, and someone included this. This is like a 3D printed Planet X saucer.
That's really cool.
Oh, that's a cool one.
And then last but not least, but a little discussion for you guys. This is
Shoot, I
Octeel's
forgot him. Yeah.
Octeel's
hell
UFO. However, I've always thought, and this is not a knock on anything, but I've always thought that this Godzilla looked less like the Daisenso Godzilla and more like the Destroy All Monsters Godzilla.
I can see that.
In the face. Anyway, there you go. I
Mark
have now
Rodriguez.
gone through, I think, all of my... No, I don't still have my giant flying saucer, which was produced independently, I guess I'd say, from Hop Toys, I think it was, or something like that. Yeah, trust me, it was amazing. That thing was like this big, huge, and worth every penny. I actually went to a plastics company back in the day, and I was like, this is this thing I have, and they helped me build a base for it because I needed something that would be translucent and able to hold that thing. It was huge. I loved it. Anyway,
Nice.
wiping
Awesome.
the tears away because I have that no longer, and I think I sold it for a good deal when I was fire sailing all my collection before we moved to Japan. David, what do you have? Let me
All right,
see your
so
stuff.
I'm going to zip through it just like you did. I have the Bandai that you showed. I've got the Kodansha CD, DVD that you showed. I've got the Completion that you showed, and I've got the Octeel Saucer, which is in the bedroom. So I've got those. And
Nice.
I'm going to show you this awesome set of reproduction lobby cards.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
M1. Oh, wait, that's not the right one. That's not the right one either. That's not the right one either. All right, here we go. Monster Zero. Ta-da! There's the P1.
P1,
Beautiful.
yes.
Beautiful.
There's Godzilla.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Da-da-da-da.
Beautiful.
Thank you. That's a
Ooh.
cool one. Sorry, I'm going so
I
fast.
think I need these.
Ooh.
King
Ah.
Ghidorah. And there's the nice soft, there's the thing. I got to get
Oh my
some
god, those are
frame.
gorgeous.
There's the A-Cycle Light Ray there, you guys.
Oh, that's a
you
great
asked
one.
for it, you got it. And there's the controller.
That's actually
that's
been
not
for
controller.
real.
Awesome.
Yeah, but they're awesome. Yeah. And then there's yeah. All right. So you got these. Very cool. I'm going really fast. All right. This guy is super special. You saw him in Kyle's. Kyle maybe can show you real quick. This one I picked up in Japan right before the interview, the epic interview that we did with the actors. Akira Kubo, Akira Takarada, and Tsuchiya-san all were holding this figure and talking about it. How cool is that?
Mhm.
It was in their hands, and it's in the book. And Kyle can show it if you can find it right there. There they are. Yeah, see, there's Akira Takarada. Takarada does approve of that.
Oh,
There it is. Yes,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
again, you know, this will never get sold. This will never ever get sold. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. All right, let's
Awesome.
go to for Leslie. Here is a little Rodan. This is the bear model Rodan, Monster Zero
Love it.
2. Pretty fun.
Man.
I like it. Very, very
Love bear
stylized, but really great. Here is the M1 Daisenso Goji, the glow in the dark. He can do the dance too if you pose him in that way.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
really?
that-
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's go to model kits. This is my take on the Billiken Daisenso Goji.
And it's
Wonderful.
perfect.
Did a pretty bang up job. Looks just like the suit, if I do say so myself. Okay,
Beautiful.
he's there. Here is, I'm gonna spell backwards. Here is the X plus 25 centimeter Daisenso Goji. I think it looks great. I did a little custom work. I did a little paint upgrade, and I closed the mouth a little bit, but it's a great figure, great likeness.
Absolutely.
Not sure if this is Ghidra, but I think the coloration looks like the Monster Zero Ghidra because it's a little darker. This is the Bandai Premium that Kyle and I did a review on way long time ago. Got a lot of views on that. But it's a fantastic figure. Really, really worth it. I love this Ghidra. Let's see where we at here. Okay, so I've got the M1 iconic Miss Namikawa.
Love it.
Her alien garb. I have got, most recently, I've got the M1 Trike. This is not the controller. This is just a generic Planet X Citizen. But if you want to see the controller, here is the controller. I don't have the Namikawa, but this is the Parababy controller. That Kyle has the Namikawa. And then this is just another generic Planet X Citizen from the Toho Maniacs line.
Yes.
We're moving along here. Look at me. All right. I think that's almost it. But this is kind of the coolest for last. I'm going to see if I can do it all at once. This is the Parababy Daisenso Goji. I've got in Parababy form. I've got all three. How cool is that?
That's cool, man.
That's awesome.
And
Rodan,
don't fall.
Oh dear.
Kyle has an orange one. I've got the red one, but I'm glad I have the red because the Ghidra's orange, and it kind of makes them all kind of stand out a little bit. But they're
monster though.
That is everything. I think I might have forgotten one or two things. But this is it, and I think that's enough. So thank you very much, Jonathan. What do you got? I did so good, didn't I? Fast.
Well, I guess we're lightning around. Let's go. All right. So first thing you can see up there is I'm not sure which Ghidra that is from, but it's the Giga Brain. It's one of the Giga Brain variants up there, and I'm not going to take him down because it just takes too much to put back up. So he's going to stay there.
He's Monster Zero for today.
Ghidra. He's Monster Zero for today. Could be from 300 Monster, but he's Monster Zero today. We have here.
I didn't realize those were so popular.
So great.
I love having these. I've always wanted to get more aliens in my.
I don't know why I don't have her. So I don't have her. I have him, but not her. Oh well.
Even with the gun too, right?
Yeah.
You right. Toho Maniacs. David just showed. Love this. I love this line. We need more from Toho Maniacs. I know we got the Mysterians recently, but come on, let's go. David remembers this. I know he does because he was there.
The
P1, baby.
That P1.
Too much to David's
chagrin.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy for you. Really.
Oh, thank you, David.
Really.
We have a little. I believe this is cast.
Okay.
Cast,
I love that.
Saucer here. Love it.
I might have to take that one next time I come to your house. You didn't hear that, though. You didn't hear that.
Whenever you come visit, I'm gonna have to count everything.
You're gonna hide that.
Okay,
you're gonna hide that.
I have 100 items here. If there's 99, something's missing. Here's another fun one. This is the 4K of Monster Zero.
Gotta get
Love
that.
it. It's amazing, by the way. If you don't have it and you're considering it, you got to. Picture looks amazing. As if you guys didn't know, I'm not going to show off some music we have here from Waxwork Records, from the Godzilla Showa era set, Invasion of Astro Monster. I absolutely love the cover art on all these. The same artist did the entire thing, kept a very same visual aesthetic. I love how it all looks like the likenesses. You know how like the Criterion Collection, it was all like different artist interpretations, but some of them were like way off for me. Like Mothra vs. Godzilla had the Tokyo SOS designs, and I'm like, guys, what are we doing? Like, show the likeness of the movies. Like, this is what it's all about. The P1 rocket over here I love the characters right here. Everything just aesthetically from a color perspective looks really cool. Also, really cool looking vinyl. All right, coming up next. Kyle already showed one of these off, but I'm going to show off the Designer Con exclusive from last year.
Yeah, we all have different
This
colors.
is the Octeal, the black and red variant. Absolutely love this thing. Love Octeal's
like
designs.
the Planet X variant, right? Like,
I don't know if it's
Planet X.
Yeah, probably it's called that. But I all I know is that I got it exclusively from Designer Con. So this is pretty awesome. Love this. And this is, I believe, the last thing I'm going to show off This one I'm holding best for last because it's most nostalgic for me. And I love this. And you guys probably know what I'm going to show off. And it was said in the chat earlier. And when someone was like, oh, I wish we could see that. I wonder if we're going to see this. Oh, buddy, I got you here. We have the Godzilla versus Monster Zero from Paramount Gateway. From Paramount, we have one of the best looking, in my opinion, cover art sleeves for the VHS collection. And, ignore the Rodan characters here in the bottom. But it's, I just love the artwork on this. Like, it captures such dynamicism, like, in such complexity. We even have the P1 in the background. The details, everything looks exactly as it should.
At least
so
Rodan made it.
Very green.
Rodan made the cover.
Rodan's like, "What's up, guys? I'm still."
Yeah, Rodan made the cover. He did. He made the cover.
He didn't make the last one. He didn't make the first one.
Namikawa. Everyone looks like themselves. It's really, really kind of cool. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
very cool. And that's what I got.
All right. Before Leslie goes, I forgot one thing. Can I? The slug bat kaiju canvas. Daisenso Goji, glitter filled, glitter feet, beautiful.
One of the greatest things I never got.
Beautiful eyes. Cool. Okay, sorry, just forgot that one. He was sitting right by my feet, and I forgot him, so I couldn't leave him out. So sorry. Go ahead, Leslie.
Kyle, you can follow those photographs. We could just we can relish them together.
That's what I should have done. The photographs. I would have not been out of breath.
Yeah, I got big stuff. I don't feel like lugging every single thing down. Otherwise, I don't like clutter. I can't stand clutter. But yeah, I did get a few things for Monster Zero. Couple things this year. Of course, something that we talked about earlier, with the Galloping Ghost model kits and stuff. But man, until he shows the pictures, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it? Okay. Well, of course, you saw the book earlier from Kyle, the dancing Bandai Godzilla, of course, the awesome P1 rocket, custom scratch made, from Robert John Brindley. And of course, again, that's the Galloping Ghost, gigantic size, Daisenso Goji. So dude, wonderful piece.
Incredible.
Thank you very much. And again, this is my goal with the King Ghidorah that I got from Greg over the summer. I wanted to get the entire lineup in 30 centimeter scale of Monster Zero, and these are all 30 centimeter scale monsters from the movie Monster Zero 1, Monster Zero 2, and of course Monster Zero in the background. Again, Greg did a bang up job on that King Ghidorah, and thanks David for actually pointing that out to me, that because for the longest time, I mean, even though it's the same suit, I didn't know that they modified it by giving it a different paint job. I think they made the lens a little bit longer. There's little differences. Again, like I mentioned with Rodan, the same thing applies to King Ghidorah here. There are those little differences, so I had him painted as such as the 65 Godzilla.
That looks great.
I mean, 65 King Ghidorah, excuse me. And as of course, you got those Planet X model kit saucers from Resin Chef. Again, S plus, put in the favorite sculptors line. Of course, the Atoa Maniacs. When I see this shot, I just think about that iconic line from the controller. We change our plans. We begin an attack on Earth now, and they just start wrecking stuff. So
love it.
And I think that's it. That's it for me. So that's it. Oh, forgot about that. Oh, I get a P1 rocket, the Ghidorah statue, of course, the saucers, and my two media copies of the film.
Leslie, can I just point out that the classic media set, that DVD set, it's incredible. I'm glad you showed that off because I love those. And the presentation, not only with the box art and the sleeves, but also on the menus and all the extras that it came with. I mean, they had, for its time, they had some of the best media presentations of the films.
If you're a collector out there and you have the classic media releases, these secondary releases, like sort of the final releases that they did of the Showa era movies, don't ever get rid of them, because some of those extras that are on those discs won't be reproduced.
Yep.
Yeah. And also that Toho Blu-ray from Monster Zero is good too, because It has some extra stuff in there. Now the trade-off is that it don't come with English subtitles, but we watch these movies so many times that we don't
know what
really
they're
need
saying,
to understand. Yeah, we kind of know what they're saying, or we kind of get the gist of what they're trying to say. But yeah, this is it. That's all I got for Monster Zero. So again, thank y'all so much for that. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you for the questions. Great questions.
Yeah, man, definitely. Okay, so moving along, what we will do, we got a collector's moment, Jonathan?
We do have a collector's moment. Yes, we do.
All right, so before we hit that collector's moment, David, why don't you show off what we are giving away? This is our giveaway from the month, and please tell us who this is from.
Okay, this is actually mine. That's why he's a little bit dusty.
Right.
It's boxed up and ready to ship out. Ray Alvarez, who's in the chat, is in the audience right now.
Ray 2D2.
Ray 2D2 had an awesome, incredible journey to Japan, and he was very thoughtful, and he picked one of these up for us to specifically give away on our show. And again, we thank you so much for thinking of us on your trip and for being a great supporter of the show. And we really do appreciate you. And Kyle, yes. What it actually does in action. It actually is a little motion by sunlight. It moves by sunlight.
Cool.
I made a little video today.
Very cool.
And
I don't have that prepared. I thought you were posting that on Instagram.
That's okay. That's all right. So I made a little video. When you put it in sunlight, the hands go up and down and the mouth goes up and down, and it's kind of cool. A lot of people have them in their cars or on a windowsill.
Oh yeah.
It's just a really fun little whimsical 1962 Godzilla, and it will be one of you lucky people who are interested in getting it.
All right. So the way we do things is we give away these items using the StreamYard giveaway tool. But in order to enter, you have to put something into the comment section, either on Facebook or YouTube. And it's a hashtag. And so what we're going to be doing for this hashtag win, if you'd like to win this, you need to write in one word, all lowercase, but with the hashtag Dancing King. Dancing King is what you'll need to write if you want to enter this this giveaway. And while we are taking those submissions, Jonathan Portman here is going to be presenting the collector's moment for us. Wait, we have video for that, don't we? We do. It goes like this. All right, take it away, Jonathan.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Collector's Moment. Now, we haven't had one recently, and that's a little bit by design, but we're back strong because of another strong discussion we had today, of course, that dealt with the discussion of Godzilla versus Monster Zero, aka Invasion of Astro Monster. So here we are going to reflect that with our submissions. Leslie had a really awesome post that he did in our group earlier in the week. And here's the picture from that post as we saw some of that stuff from earlier. And we're just going to show you some of the submissions we had that used the hashtag Monster Zero Maniacs in our Facebook group, the Collect All Monsters Monster Collectors. And so without further ado, let's take it away. First, Corey Reichhardt.
Wow.
This is probably my favorite photo of all of them. In terms of how it's constructed, organized, color pop, everything about it. It has pretty much everything you could love. My God, there's a lot of acycle light rays, which for me, I'm still trying to hone in on those smaller vehicles for in the Sofubi world. So I appreciate seeing those out in the wild and in collections. Very, very cool.
Very complete collection. And I think he was in the chat earlier on. I don't know if he still is, but
not sure. But yeah, I mean, what an incredible lineup! My goodness, right?
He loves his movie.
Yes, he does.
Definitely,
he's got good taste.
Got good taste. Now these ones, okay.
Oh yeah.
You guys know I've said this in the past, and when I first started sort of in the collectors space here, especially on social media and especially on Instagram, I gravitated towards people and fans that were doing what's known as figure photography. They basically will take figures in their collection and they'll put them in diorama settings and they'll mix them with special effects or whatnot in Photoshop and just make them look like a complete scene or a replicated scene from a film and just put them in a scene. And I absolutely love this style and aesthetic and what people are doing with these. And here's another one right here from Austin Kelly, a perfect recreation of the battle on Planet X. He even has the Exian saucers in the background there. I do love when people take their figures or their X Plus statues and they put them in these sort of diorama dynamic settings. I think it's really interesting and really cool art form above or not above, but like in complement to like artistry, like painting or drawing or whatnot. They're using the figures in a space to create something. I think it's really cool.
Excellent work.
Aha.
I love that shot. I think that's my favorite one. Love that.
Yeah, we have here. It's a spiral fest here with art of Slugbat, right? His amazing interpretation of the suit from David Partridge, who has seemingly all three variants in different forms. Absolutely love the one in the middle, just like yours, David. It is clear, but this one has gold and red highlights. I think it's really
closed
cool.
mouth too. Yeah, the closed mouth.
Closed mouth has always been a preferred for me. I love
Closed
closed mouth.
mouth.
Just it's something about the aesthetic I just love. I don't know. Another spiral.
Another one.
Enthusiast here.
There's an open mouth.
And an open mouth. And I love the pink. I love the clear and the pink. I also love, and I guess I have to try to nab this one, the Invasion of Astro Monster for Super 7.
Cool. I forgot about that one. I got that one in my glow shelf.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I love the packaging too. I like how they also, it doesn't have, it's a GID, but it doesn't have the same aesthetic as say, this one. It's got more of the photo representation, the photorealistic representation background rather than the artistic representation or the color, the comic sort of representation. I think it's pretty cool. All right, Robert.
Yeah.
Now this one is really thoughtful and sentimental. I love the Akira Takarada touch in the background. It's very cool.
Oh.
Just really, really awesome. And you have, I believe it's this, right? The Toho Maniacs but you have yours. You have yours with the tag, which is cool. I don't see many of. I always take them off.
I took my tag off too.
Yeah, I took mine off too. And then Florian Granger with this really cool representation of all the stuff from Invasion of Astro Monster. I do love the Miss Namakawa, the big one down in the background. What is that? What is that? What is the dancing one to the left there? That's
Bear Model.
Is that Bear Model?
That's a Bear Model, correct.
It's very cool. Love it. And that, of course, concludes. We didn't have lots of missions, but I think we had quality over quantity in this case. And we're ending with David's shot here because I know David always loves taking the shots, and you're a big part of this one as well. So
thank you.
Thank you again, as always, to everyone who participated. Even if it was very few, we always love seeing the photos online. And if I missed yours, I apologize. Next time, be sure to use the hashtag because when we're searching through stuff, if you don't have the hashtag correctly or if it's not tagged in the hashtag form, it might get lost in the shuffle, unfortunately. So, but thank you for everyone who participated and keep sharing those photos because you never know. And keep on tabs with what we're doing with the discussions because it's gonna correlate for the show. You may see yourself in the next collector's moment.
Excellent.
And you may see yourself in the next collector's moment.
Yes.
All right.
Yay,
so
I'm glad Corey's still here. He got to see his awesome
Corey.
photo. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So I saw some hashtags come in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the StreamYard giveaway tool right here.
Oh, yes.
And the hashtag of Dancing King. That's the one we're doing. Start collecting the comments. We got 10 entries.
Nice.
Now,
Good luck.
drum roll.
Corey! Oh my God!
Congratulations!
What a coincidence!
Corey, there you go. Wow. Speaking of.
Wow. Okay.
Excellent.
Well, outstanding.
So, Corey, we know you from the group already. Why don't you go ahead and reach out to Mr. David Dopko, and he will arrange the shipment of your winnings, good sir, and
Indeed,
congratulations.
Yes.
All right.
And thanks again, Ray, for the wonderful donation for our giveaway. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Okay.
Ray, thank you so much.
Well, I think what we're going to do is say that our next episode will be November 15th. And I think what will happen is that's going to be kind of like a travel log composite of everything from the Godzilla Day activities, because John will be there, Leslie will be there with Sandra, David will be there, and I will be there, Helmy will be there. So we're going to get a lot of content done while we're there. Plus, we'll, of course, have a live stream where we celebrate it as well. And having said that, I will go ahead and close out the show with the standard you all know this, but I'll just do it here. Until next time, our planet may be doomed, our Earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. Together we must unite and collect all monsters. See you guys next time.